All right, shalom, y'all. Shalom, family. All right, y'all. We're going to hit on a topic. I'm have to get right into it, y'all. We got a few scripts to cover. But a very important topic, y'all, and it's called the Holy Covenants. And you see that there's an S on that. So we're talking about plural covenants within one that embodies time, so to speak, to get us back into paradise. Multiple covenants, y'all, throughout the script. But all of these covenants must equal the final destination, which is that Revelation 21 we're going to get into. But you'll see that there's going to be different covenants between the Father and the Son. There's covenants between the Father and man, given to us by the Son. And that covenant is called faith. Y'all, if we don't have that covenant, if you're not promoting that covenant, you're under the wrong covenant. Y'all, because every other covenant is based off of that initial covenant. But we're going to get some clear understanding so that you see the difference and what covenants that the Father has with the Son that will eliminate a sinner like ourselves from equaling ourselves up to them. Or anybody else they want to name in the past that they say would equal up to them. Understand, us has position and rank, but it's still us. So we need to understand the position and rank from a covenant perspective so that we stay under the right covenant. So y'all, we're going to go ahead and get started, move right through. The Hebrew definition of covenant is berith. Am I pronouncing that right? 1285, hit that for me, Zeb, if you will. So we get some understanding and move on and understand. The reason I brought this forth, bro did an excellent class last week to bestow. And that's send and receive and send it back. Well, what that, I want to just get into a little bit deeper on it and from the covenant perspective and understand what brings us into bond to be able to send back and forth like that. If you're not within that covenant, you're going to get a virus. And it's going to shut your hard drive down, so to speak. Because you're not in sync. It's just like all of these computers, which is just a copy of man, so to speak, in a machine. If you don't get the updates, you're open for a virus. Right. If you don't understand these covenants, you're open for a virus.
You gotta level up, huh?
You gotta level up.
Updates.
So y'all, we want to get right to it after Bruh give me the definition of that.
H1285, berith.
Yes, sir.
Covenant.
What is it?
Covenant.
Alliance,
pledge, between men, treaty, alliance, league, man to man, constitution, ordinance, monarch to subjects, agreement, pledge, man to man, alliance of friendship, alliance of marriage.
Yes, sir.
Between Yahweh and man, alliance of friendship, covenant, divine ordinance with signs or pledges. Covenant making, covenant keeping, and what else we got?
You good, you hit them all. Everything you hit gonna embody this lesson today about covenant. The only difference is when the Father is talking to the Son in that covenant, there's no berith, so to speak. Meaning that he never gives away his total power to his creation. He's the one. So we ain't gonna get it twisted by what we may read here today about us joining into that covenant. But there's hierarchy in that covenant.
That's right.
Just like it was hierarchy with the angels, there are hierarchy in the assembly of the church, and there was hierarchy at Mount Sinai. You had the congregation of Israel, and then the congregation of the Lord.
Right.
So there's always been hierarchy, so to speak, within the operations of the covenant. But we just need to know our place so we stay in covenant.
Same with the angels. There's
yes,
different
sir.
ranks and classifications of angels. Like every angel ain't a cherubim. a seraphim, archangel, but they still in bond and covenant with the Most High.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, excellent point.
So we're going to get to the ones of the covenant of the Father and the Son, that we have to understand that covenant is not for us, because it has a specific meaning. It's for a specific individual. If we gain that, then there's no need for that individual.
Right.
So let's get into those, and we'll see a difference in bringing us into a covenant. Like he read, you kept seeing man to man, man to man. We're transferring, we're receiving, we're getting that bestowing that bro taught about last week. So we want to understand this bestowing from his covenant perspective. Go ahead, Genesis 1:26, and we just going to move through these, y'all. We're going to get right into the Father and the Son that couldn't go to Solomon or King Hezekiah or Isaiah, who whatever man they want to put in the position of the Messiah.
Right.
Because the glory he had was before the world was.
Right.
Before you was even thought about in the concept, this covenant was already agreed upon.
Straight up.
Let's get to Genesis 1:26.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26.
Right.
How we look, we all there. That shouldn't be that hard to find. First chapter, the first
Well,
book.
they're in the middle flipping.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Hallelujah. Genesis 1:26. And the Most High said, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the earth, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
So this image of God, you see us
Yeah.
is creating an image like us, but it's to rule on earth, not in heaven. That's us up here. See, that's when he said in John 3:13, for no man has ascended up to heaven, but he who came down. So we have to understand that covenant right there. For David having ascended into heaven, Acts 2:34, for he's in corruption right now. But we know where his sepulcher is to this day. We're going to point out King David buried right there.
Right.
But the Messiah went back where he was at the beginning of time. So we don't want to get that mixed up. And you see what he's giving him power over. Read a little bit more of that, bro.
Verse 27.
Yeah.
So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. The Most High blessed them. The Most High said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the earth and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
So we can hold with that. And you see, that's the covenant that was made with the us, the original us. And then given to man for them to have a covenant with all of these beasts on earth. Y'all, we actually have a covenant with the beasts. The beasts know they role. We just don't know ours. We killing them. We're playing footsies with them. And now getting back into the thing that where we in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah and Noah finna start having sex with them. On a regular basis. They got brothels set up.
Yeah.
Animal behavior and lust.
Putting the prostitutes out of business.
Putting them out of business. They got sex robots out now. If y'all Google it right now, sex bots.
Yeah.
Anybody you choose, they'll make the model from you. This certain model, they say, has been coming back to the manufacturer with the hips knocked loose.
Serena Williams.
And they have to keep repairing this certain model. They wouldn't say which one it was. But, what you saying, bro?
Beat that on CNN.
Yes, sir.
The first robot citizen in Russia.
Yeah.
Happened 3
Yeah.
days ago. Saudi Arabia. Well,
Yeah.
it came from Russia though. It came from Russia to Saudi Arabia. It straight got a citizenship. If you seen the action, the way it moved and talked, it looked like a regular human.
Yeah.
It was making jokes. It got a sense of humor and everything.
See, these are covenants we talking about that you're going to come in league with if you don't understand these covenants. Because that's a lust covenant. That covenant of the flesh wants to get with that machinery. It don't talk back. It'll answer all your questions, whatever you name it. Lexus, where are my shoes? By the bed, where you left. Okay. No talking back. Just answer the question, but it's putting all of the prostitutes out of business in Australia, and it's just another spot that they are turning the prostitutes away. They say, no, we got sex bot. We're making more money. Sorry.
That's right.
Can you imagine that? The oldest, what they say, profession in the world is out of business. Going out of business. Y'all, so we are in these days, y'all, so don't be surprised. Yeah, look at it as evil, what it is, but these things must come to pass. They have to come to pass. If they don't, we can't see what our hope is. Okay, bro, let's move right on to that covenant with man. So y'all understand it was made with Adam and his wife and to subdue the earth. So that's a covenant that they tripped. Now, there's a punishment for covenant breaking and not being in line with the covenant and spinning your wheels thinking that you are. But it may be a covenant of men. Precepts of men. Mention the Bible, but all the deeds are precepts of men, and the punishment, the final of failed covenant keeping, so to speak, is Matthew 7. If you hit a little bit of that for me, man. So we get that 7:21. We get that and understand that that's the vibration we have to be in woe of, so to speak. Understanding that if this is said, this is going to be terrible. All of what I've been doing, was it in vain?
Yeah. Read the book of Matthew chapter 7. We'll start at verse 21. Wait for everybody to get there. Matthew chapter 7 verse 21.
Bag it up if you need to. So y'all, this is why covenant keeping is so important. Because you can fool yourself into believing that you're keeping it, but if it's anything you looking sideways at or say, I'm straddling the fence on this one, at least acknowledge that and don't try to just keep walking on the fence. Well, that's a balance beam. You don't want to slip off that fence, men, and your legs spread apart, and you come down on that fence.
You're done dealing.
Hey.
All right, we're going to start in the book of Matthew chapter 7. I'm going to start at verse 15.
15.
13.
I'll go back 13. Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. Matthew 7 and 13.
Yes, sir.
Enter ye in at the straight gate.
At the what gate?
Straight gate.
Yes, sir.
For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat.
And I see when we see many in these occasions, it's saying the majority for this situation. It ain't got nothing to do with many believed on the Messiah for that situation. For this situation, those that try to go opposite of the straight gate. You're trying to go around it. It's going to be a problem. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 14. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way, which leadeth into light.
Leading unto what?
Light. And few there be that find.
So now, y'all, we're trying to look for this straight gate, so to speak. Ain't no crookedness in it, y'all. If you hear the Bible been tampered with, you got a straight gate if you believe that. I mean, a crooked gate if you believe that. But from Genesis to Revelation, if you say, I believe that's the straight gate and there's no tampering in it, then you on that path. But you can't believe a crooked route, a crooked path gonna lead you to where we're trying to get to. It just ain't gonna happen. Because you're gonna play with the devil then. Like they're gonna play with him Tuesday night.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna go around the covenant to play with him for one day. We beat up on him so much 364 days. Can't he get one day off of us pounding him with scripture? No! He get no days off. He don't take days off on you. You don't think he gonna be attacking on the 31st? That's what he coming to do. Children gonna be snatched. Blood gonna be drank on that day.
Yeah.
What you got, sis?
You know, they've already started sending out emails in my children's school district in Ladue that somebody been following kids home. Some people been following kids home that's been walking home. And Parkway and Ladue at the end, they send out emails the other night.
Now look, y'all.
Watch the short legacy.
Because that's a covenant with Satan that's coming up. It's called Sam Hain.
Yeah.
It's Satan's second highest holy day. First is Beltane's Eve, May 31st. April 31st, May 1st. I'm sorry, I had it back. But that's the most wicked of Satan's high holy day. You want to see it, go get Angel Heart, starring that Lisa Bonet that was in the Cosby Show. You see Robert De Niro playing Lucifer.
Yeah. Louis C. First.
And then you got Sam Hain, this one right here, of his fall feast. Notice how he got them right around ours. Feast days the same way. Because portals open up at this time. The seasons are changing. So the portals are opening. Everybody playing their game now, conjuring up spirits. I heard they got CERN over there in CERN, Switzerland, open wide up now. And they seeing demons and different things going on. They ready to let this loose. And it sits on the same spot of Revelation talks about Apollyon. So y'all, this ain't no coincidence what's going on. Y'all, we're in a spiritual war that y'all have to understand that went down in Revelation 12th chapter. A spiritual war with Satan and his fallen angels. This war ends when the Messiah takes over. You were born into a war.
That's right.
It's not fleshly. Fleshly, you don't stand a chance against this spiritual fight that we have on our hands. So if you don't understand that from that perspective, you're losing it. You're in the wrong covenant. This is spiritual warfare. And it can get physical with the covenants of your brother. There you may be able to use the weapons of war, but not with these principalities and wickedness in high places. What you gonna shoot at?
Right.
The cabinet drawer open and slam, the refrigerator open and slam. What you shooting at? Where we at, bro?
The book of Matthew, chapter 7, bro. You got something out?
When you say those regular Sunday, it's a covenant with death.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Man never made a covenant with the devil.
Yeah.
Right?
But even down to the whole Halloween aspect, you see they take a pumpkin and turn it into a skull. They call it a jack-o'-lantern or whatever. But we never sit back and look none of this stuff up. We just be like, it's just cute and innocent. It's a fall harvest. You know, it just feels good. The church dress it up now. I call it a Hallelujah Festival or a trunk or treat. You feel me? But the Bible tells you can't call evil good.
Right.
And it don't matter if it means that to you. Like to me, it don't mean that. Nobody asked you what it means to you.
You right. Right.
Like it's been going on thousands of years.
Yeah.
It was even on the scene. So it don't even matter what it means to you. You feel me? These things were put down in full effect thousands of years before you was even thought of. You understand? And when you're done talking, if you think it's a game, those that worship the devil for real. You feel me? There's some of their holy days coming up. That's right. Down. Yeah. Why you think the humane society act the way they act around this time? You can't adopt no black cats. You can't do none of that because they know what's going on.
That's right.
People snatching babies, drinking bloods. See, back in the day, your child would have been sacrificed.
That's right.
And he would have been the jack of the lantern that year. See, in the pagan mindset, if you snatch a baby and spill innocent blood, then their crops will grow better for the next year. Because they look at children as innocent, in which they are. So
Oh,
the
okay.
whole thing about get the babies while they young, snatch them, you know what I'm saying, go through a certain ritual, and if the lot fell on them babies, that baby would be scalped, skinned alive. You understand? They burn the fat up off of them and turn that fat into a candle and stick it into what you call a pumpkin. And look, make the little eyes on the little nose and all that, you know, a little extra. That's a skull.
Yeah.
And so your baby was the jack of the lantern that year. You flirting with the devil and don't even know it. Like, and then you say, look, it's for the kids. All you gotta do is tell them babies, we ain't doing that no more. That's evil. They run on automatic. Babies don't have a filter.
That's right.
They don't get embarrassed like us grown folk. Baby gonna say all they friends, that's evil, that's wicked, and my daddy said so.
Right.
You feel me? All you
Right.
gotta do is tell the babies, look, we ain't doing that no more. That's evil. It's against God. Okay, daddy. And they gonna take off and look, no filter.
Right.
They don't have the feelings you have and get embarrassed because you know they want to be accepted by society. A baby don't care nothing about that. They can fight with each other and 2 seconds later be playing.
That's right.
You feel me? So the excuse is for the children. That's out the window too. Don't mean nothing. You feel me? You lust to do that evil and make that covenant with death.
That's
the
right.
problem. So once you find out it's evil, man up and command your household. Say, look, we ain't doing that no more. That's against God. That's down with the devil. Do we worship the devil? No. Well, we ain't doing that no more.
That's right.
And leave it at that.
What's crazy, if you actually start looking up the history behind it, the Satanists straight call this day they Sabbath. They call it they Shabbat. They straight call it a Shabbat. They holied and sanctified that within their own organization under Satan. So that's a covenant with the devil.
See, and that's their feast of tabernacles, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like we just had ours, and the whole thing is to train your children and of this other covenant with death, and they ain't got a clue what these covenants that we have. Feast days are part of the covenants that we talk about.
right.
The Most High put down. He said, this is part of this covenant. You got to know this. But society pushes the covenant of death on. And that's what we practice. And then you start to justify it. Well, it's just for the children. Well, that's who it ain't supposed to be for first and foremost. It ain't supposed to be for them. They ain't got the filter to ward it off. You think those out there waiting to snatch one of them care about it's a child? They looking at that as pure blood. That's going to take centuries of wickedness or deliver my bloodline from whatever they've done. I got to get one of them.
Go ahead, bro.
Man, why they boldly spitting the Most High eye like that? They ain't scared of him or something? Is he setting them up for the okie doke or what?
Hey, what you say, boy? Because look, see, with the common sense that most of us have, you be like, look, I fear the Most High.
Right.
Once I found out what that was, I'm like, boy, I can't believe I was caught up in the middle of that madness. You feel me? You know it's wicked.
Right.
Right? So either it's one or two things, right? Either they like, look, the hell with your God.
Right.
Remember that woman harlot Jake had on the show? That woman harlot?
Yeah.
She tell you flat out, like, look, I can't wait to bathe in the lake of fire. I will never bow to your God. And I'm going to tell him, when I see him, you know, y'all know, bro, Jake, like, look, heathen, these aren't negotiations.
Right.
You going down for this.
Right.
You understand? But there's some people that's boldly spitting in the Most High's face. And there's others that's just like, you know, Satan done hoodwinked them too.
Yeah.
But the devil don't play fair.
No.
You feel me? Think about David Rockefeller. Died at what,
3 or 4 or 5.
had 6 heart transplants, successful. He thought he was gonna see the New World Order, the mark of the beast, the Antichrist. The devil fooled him too.
Yes, he did.
He went for that 7 heart transplant. Hey, he's reserved for the judgment. So it's both. It's both.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's those that's full-fledged down with Satan. Like, don't make no mistake. They can be your next door neighbor. You wave at them every day, smiling. You don't know they right into Wicca. That's the fastest growing religion in North America. It's called Wicca, the religion of the witches. You feel me? And the little city councils and all that, all over the nation, witches have been walking right up in there. Like, you got your so-called Christians up in there, you know, claiming they worshiping the Most High, whatever. And the witches walk right up in there in they black robe, hoodied up.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's a freedom of religion and freedom of speech, right? But I want to invoke Satan.
Yeah.
And you know, you like them so-called white Christians, man, they ready to jump this heathen. But guess what? No, your Constitution says it's a freedom of religion. They done got the sheriff and all them backing him. Leave him alone. And he go right up in there with his black hoodie on and invoke the name of the fallen one. You feel me? So it's not a game. I know you thought witches was somebody that flew on broomsticks.
Right.
No, witches don't fly on no broomsticks. But they into what's called black magic and black arts, and that's definitely real. There's nothing to play around with. All right, Sister Gam.
And you can't take it lightly either because, people make jokes and they make comments. And I listen to everything at work. So my coworkers always talking about, she had 4 sisters. And when they were growing up, they called them, remember the craft?
Yeah.
They called them the craft sisters. They called them the coven.
Wow.
She would say stuff about the weekend, this is that and third. So, how we always talk about the new moon. So she would say things about the full moon. Yeah. So we have a calendar at our stand where, we put our requests out and all that. So I'm flipping through the calendar one day. She got all the full moon circles. All the full moon. Like, and so I go back to everything that she's always saying. I'm like,
she's a witch.
what's going on?
Right, right.
You be sitting there at work, drinking your tea.
Right.
You just. Yeah.
Right. Right. And see, that's the spirit of discernment.
Yeah.
Y'all see that? That's the spirit of discernment because she understood the covenant. She like, wait a minute, this a different covenant practice.
Yeah.
Oh, she got all the full moons circled. Yeah, we do have a full moon, but this is different because they have a different process. So y'all, we want to make it understood and make it clear, y'all. These things that are happening are not game. Some just look at a commercial, they gonna get money out of you first and foremost. That's the whole thing, spending a bunch of money you ain't got on this. Right. And then you dress your children up like those days. Like our covenants tell us what to wear on certain days, their covenants tell them what to wear. Be identified amongst our covenant keepers so we know who you are. So you dress up like everything to try to get into that us covenant of the Father and the Son, like Satan thought he wanted to be there. And started that war. Trying to get into that one. No, you're not the first creation. You on down the line. So y'all, let's get back to it. So we get some clear understanding on this covenant between the Father and the Son. And this is what we don't want to hear because it's going to let us know I've been practicing the wrong covenant. Go ahead, bro. You was in Matthew 7.
Matthew 7 and verse 15.
Yeah.
Beware of false prophets.
Of who?
False prophets. Which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves.
So they going to look like they under the covenant we under. May have the covenant instructions in their hand, but they a wolf. You got to be careful of that. Go ahead, bro.
Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles?
So now we getting back to the Garden of Eden where the problem came in at. So we got fruit and trees and we got some vipers here. So we got the same thing that was happening in the garden we can't have in this covenant with him. Go ahead, bro.
Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
So you think this talking about an apple or orange? There it is. That's a corrupt tree there. I see a worm coming out of that apple. No, apple ain't even in Genesis. This is talking about men. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 19. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
Right.
Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them.
How shall we know them?
By their fruits ye shall know them. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven.
Right.
Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you.
I never what?
I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
Y'all ever seen anybody that go up to somebody that may be famous? Hey, bro, you don't remember me? Nah, bro, I don't know you. You know, and you're trying to make sure. Well, back in 6th grade, I don't know you. Hey, you man went to school with? I don't know you. For the Messiah to say that to you on that day is going to be trouble. You've been practicing the wrong covenant. You wasn't prophesying to me. You got Negroes out here now that bend the knee to Jermaine Grant and General Yohana and all these other boys that they're calling hierarchy. 3rd in command, 4th in command. Where you reading that in here? And thou shalt bow to a sinner as thyself, and look at him like he's 3rd in command. If he walked through here now at they camp with all these people, and then when he walked through the door, everybody stand up.
Get a stiff back, click your heels. Sir, yes, sir. General on deck. We done seen it. We done seen it, man. It's crazy.
This Negro walked through the door, just got off the toilet and picking chicken out his teeth, and you standing up.
Out in the hallway farting.
Read some more, man. You finished that?
That's verse 23.
Oh yeah, hit verse 23 then.
I already did 23.
Oh, okay, we good on that.
Okay.
So y'all, we just want to get the understanding of the punishment for covenant breaking. This is the final destination, y'all. You don't want that. You don't want to be told that. I mean, what you gonna do? Keep telling? Come on now, Lord. I know your memory ain't slipping. I know you older. But you don't remember me. Remember when I gave to the home? Depart from me. Psalm chapter 2, verse 4 through 12.
Psalm chapter 2, verse 4.
What? So y'all, we just gonna hit a few on the Messiah and his us power, his majesty, where he's at. That us, y'all, and it ain't nothing to feel like, you know, envious of that. Oh, I want that. That's what Satan did. He wanted to be in that part of the covenant and didn't want to stay in his lane. Y'all, there's lanes for us. Straight is the way. Now, you want crooked lanes that go all the way back. You may hit a dirt patch here or unpaved roads there. Then find that other covenant. Psalm chapter 2, verse 4 through 12. Go ahead, hit that, man.
The book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 4. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh.
Hold on 1 second, bro. They're getting there.
Hey, short-legged class, what are you? How you doing? All right, your Uncle Duell, follow your Uncle Duell back there, short-legged class. Y'all handle y'all business. That cool brother back there, Uncle Duell.
Right there, yeah.
Y'all handle y'all business. Y'all don't be sneaking out of class.
Right. Look at them show legs. Y'all trying to get them in the right covenant.
That's right.
Book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 4. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion.
Woo.
I will declare the decree.
What are you gonna declare?
I will declare the decree. The Most High have said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee.
See, that's a decree. That's a covenant. That's that us before Genesis 1:26. That decree was already set before the world was. That decree was made with the first creation of the world. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Most High with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son.
Do what?
Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him.
So we see that of that covenant, y'all. If we don't understand that binding covenant between the Father and the Son, we have to understand that, and we can't intervene into that or long to be a part of that. We can't envy or covet that.
Straight up.
That don't belong to us. That's like when you look up holy for set apart, it has two definitions. The first one is worthy to be worshipped. You know that ain't us. With the evil thoughts that on our mind. You can't watch TV and think those things with all the stuff that come on regular TV. And then it says holy, completely devoted to one's deity. Completely devoted. Not half-stepping, not lukewarm, completely devoted. We in that, us part of that covenant of holy. But to be worshipped, to worship a man, no, that's a problem. That's going to always be a problem. And if you find yourself in that covenant, you better get out of it. That's right. Let's get right to another one. Psalm 40, 6 through 8. And then Psalm 110, 1 through 4. We're going to hit these couple, two in the New Testament so we get the understanding of that covenant first. You have to understand that so you don't invade on that.
You said 40, right, Elder?
Yeah. And y'all are seeing why the volume of the book of this, and you'll hear all of these non-messianic camps want to start like the New Testament just started with the Messiah. The volume of the book is rolled up. This is why they struggle with that us in Genesis 1. They see that covenant, but they don't know who to put there. Because they won't accept who's there. The only one that fit all of the prophecies, both Old and New Testament. And they fight and kick against the pricks. Want to put Solomon in there. And David. And Hezekiah. Great men of the scripture. But fell short of the covenant that the Father had with the Son. You can't put them in his position. That's his position. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
The book of Psalms, chapter 40, verse 6. Sacrifice and offering thou didst not desire.
Oof.
Mine ears hast thou opened. Burnt offerings and sin offerings hast thou not required.
So the Most High said, look, if that's all it's about, y'all just go killing the animal. Ain't gonna be no more animals. The way we sinning now, right now, Grant's Farm would be out of business this morning. With just who in this room. If it was still about animal sacrifice.
It's in the Old Testament, huh?
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 7. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me.
So if you think this David, you think this was talking about David in Genesis 1:26? This is David prophesying about the Messiah after the order of Melchizedek, being under the order of Aaron. Spiritual up here, dealing with spiritual things. Supernatural thing to take Goliath on, 9'6", almost 10 foot tall, and David, a young shepherd boy. Supernatural. Cut his head off with his own sword. That David. That David that took on the demons Saul had on him and played them away. No, all these guitars out here y'all talking about think they bad. They ain't played no demons away. Prince couldn't.
Jimi Hendrix.
As bad as they were. But the demons kept hanging around because the difference is they taught them how to play under a different covenant. So when they say we prophesied and cast out demons, you was casting out Satan, casting out Satan. That's all you was doing. Y'all battling with each other, beating each other up. Let's keep it moving. Psalm 110, 1 through 4. 6, that's the 6. And y'all just establishing the covenant of the Most High with the only begotten. Y'all, and make them prove if they want to put somebody else in that covenant of that first us. It's the same reward throughout. Adam was in an immortal status.
That's right. That's right.
And tripped. Created to be immortal. He was like a superhero. And entered into another covenant that quick.
Yep. Given dominion to rule the earth.
But yet became a slave to sin. That quick. Y'all, that's the adversary we dealing with. He's bringing supernatural craftiness to the flesh. You don't stand a chance unless you get supernatural with him in the mindset. It's been already told you can handle him. Got to quit playing with him. Flesh is ruling. Go ahead, brother.
Psalms 110, verse 1.
What it say?
The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool.
Now this is David talking. Everybody agree this is a psalm of David. Who is David's Lord if David is king? The Lord said to my Lord. Go ahead.
The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of holiness. From the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth. The Lord has sworn.
He has done what?
Has sworn.
And a sworn is never go back on an oath. That's why he tell us, y'all, don't swear. Let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. But if you swear, it's a binding soul oath. And right here, the Father's going on record, swearing. It's binding. Go ahead.
The Lord has sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. The Lord is at thy right hand. The Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath.
Wow.
He shall judge among the heathens. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies.
Those who say the Lord at your right hand is going to be striking through kings in the day of his wrath. It never says, when you read about the day of the Lord, it never says the Most High going to vacate his throne.
That's right.
It says the Lord, the same Lord, he says, sit at my right hand. If I make your enemies your footstool. That verse 5 say the Lord at your right hand is going to be striking through kings in the day of his wrath.
That's right.
So we talking about the Lord at the right hand who won't be getting orders from the Almighty to bring in what's called the day of the Lord, to bring judgment, to gather the flock. You feel me? The Lord at your right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath.
That's right.
Yo, sweet Jesus, huh? Yeah. He's the Lord. If you identify him as the Lord at the right hand, that's why the brothers that Daniel talking about, the non-messianics, the ones that don't believe in the Messiah, you feel me? They fumble. They never get down to verse 4 and 5.
That's right.
Chapter. They go to verse 1, and then there's a whole bunch of possibilities. Some say that's Solomon, David talking about his son. Some say David never wrote that psalm, or some say David was smoking LSD and talking about himself. It don't even make sense. You feel me? But see, when you get down to verse 4, that's when all the chips come tumbling down.
That's right.
Verse 4 tell you whoever that is the priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. So that's what you asking. What's the order of Melchizedek and who's that forever priest? You ain't got it. You feel?
Why they even in the book?
You said what, bro?
Why they even in the book if they ain't believe?
No.
You gonna believe this, but you're not gonna believe that.
Yeah.
How you balance that?
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
It sounds like lunacy to us.
Yeah.
Indeed, but it's some people that hate the Messiah so bad that they'll play a Jedi mind trick if you ain't studied up and say they won't even touch verse 4.
That's right.
Let alone verse 5, because once you identify who that is at the right hand, well, he gonna be handling his business in the day of his wrath.
That's right.
The Lord at the right hand gonna be striking through kings in the day of his wrath. You feel me? So that kills their whole agenda once you understand what that is. You understand what the priesthood is about, and you understand he ain't coming back to jump double dutch. And you know what I'm saying, rub sinners on the back. Like it's okay.
It's okay.
Nah, he coming. They say he gonna be striking through kings in the day of his wrath. And as we keep reading, he gonna be doing more than that.
That's right.
Feel me? Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, Zach.
He shall wound the heads over many countries.
The heads over the countries are the rulers. All your presidents, your kings, your so-called Vladimir Putin,
Yes, sir.
Donald Trump, him
Yeah.
too. I know he arrogant, but he ain't off that list either.
That's right.
The kings of Saudi Arabia, whoever, the kings of Jordan, whoever, the Rothschild banking families, whoever the heads and ruling the earth, he gonna wound their heads over many countries.
That's right.
So the powers that be understand this, and that's why it's a rush to weaponize space. It's a rush because they in this Bible. They know exactly what's going on. It's you who's just not finding out. Like, hold on, the Messiah ain't coming back and play hopscotch. No. It's saying he finna be handling his business when he show back up. Wounding the heads over many countries, striking through kings in the day of his wrath. Now, if you ain't on his side, that would scare you.
Yeah.
You be like, whoa, I'm on that list. You feel me? All right, come on, Hebrew. What else to say?
He shall drink of the brook in the way.
Wow.
Therefore shall he lift up the head.
Meaning he gonna be victorious.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be victorious, super precision. The Most High don't waste arrows.
That's right.
That's y'all in the ghetto. Shoot sideways and
Right there.
shoot 100 times, don't hit nobody.
Everybody on the other porch, nigga.
Yeah. No. The Most High ain't hits with super precision. Every arrow count. You feel me? So that changes the mindset of those that's like, all right, we follow the Messiah. If you don't follow him, then that means you're gonna be one of those he gonna be filling the valleys with. He said he gonna fill the valleys with dead bodies. Like if you opposite of that, if you not on his team, then you understand that should frighten you. You should be like, you know what, let me get myself together. Not kick against the pricks like what Saul was doing at first.
Right.
You understand? Because there's a judgment and a severe punishment coming for anybody on the opposite side.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying.
Just like you've been out there on Hall Street to the dump site. You ever been out there and dump?
Yeah.
That's where dead bodies gonna be.
Yeah.
Piled up like that as dung. Just like that trash. Dead bodies. And souls going on to the lake of fire. Go ahead, let's read some more. We finished that? All right, Philippians chapter 2, verse 5 through 11. And give me John 5:19. John 5:19 through 23. And that's just showing y'all, we're just showing that covenant, the oneness with the Messiah and the Father. We have to establish and believe that first, because he say, I'm not going to give my glory to anybody else. Christ is the glory of the Father. Man is the glory of Christ. Woman is the glory of man. And then the children. That's an order. That's an hierarchy that can't be messed with. Stay in your lane. That's all you have to do. And when you see somebody else out of their lane, do like you do when you're driving on the highway and somebody about to come in your lane. You hear somebody talking about man worship, do this and get them back in their lane. And point like this. You out of your lane. Don't even entertain it. Get Negro a test. There's a bathtub full of water. Your ankles shouldn't get wet. Go and walk across that. Just a bathtub. 4 feet. If he start mumble mouthing about that, don't waste your time on that.
Where we going, Elder?
Philippians chapter 2, verse 5 through 11. Y'all, you got to know what covenant we under, y'all. It's very important, the contract that you're signing your soul up for. Your soul is on the line. You're signing a contract of eternity. Let's get it.
Can you start verse 1, brother?
Yes, sir.
Philippians chapter 2, verse 1. If there be therefore any comfort, any consolation, my bad.
Yeah.
If there be therefore any consolation in Christ, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any vows and mercy, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded.
That ye be what?
Like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind.
See, you have to be in a covenant like this. It's hierarchy, but it's still one mind in a sense. Like Christ, you can't find it on record where he leapfrogged his father. Or made it to the point like, you know, I created myself to worship myself. No. You ain't gonna never see him on record saying that. But he understands the us policy first that was put down before everything else was created. He ain't giving that glory up to who? Satan? And then to one of y'all? One of us?
Right.
One of we? One of I?
One eye.
Who had their hand up out there? Go ahead, bro.
Paul means by don't go beyond what is written.
Don't go beyond what is written? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't add, that's just adding to or taking away. If what there and you say, well, no, I don't think James, you know, I read somewhere else, I had got a book from the library, James used to trip a lot. If you believe that, then what's in here? He went and got a book from the library?
Yeah.
That he trusts that book over the scripture because it don't line up with the covenant of death that he loves. Y'all, for some reason, we love death, the covenant of death. You know what it is as soon as you see it, because Satan tell you, know you're going to die in the end. Like I do everybody else.
Yeah.
Everybody else died in the end. But if you want to play with me, let's go. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 3. Let nothing be done through strife or vain glory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem others better than themselves.
Y'all see that? So how would you ever get into man worship when this is the instructions?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus.
See, that was the mindset in him looking out for us. Y'all, to put his life on the line and take the beating of flesh that belonged to us. That beating belonged to us. That beating didn't belong to him, but he took it on. And we act like that don't mean nothing. Passion of the Christ couldn't even come near. But it's the best we got out there to kind of look at of the trouble he went through.
What's wrong with he, bro?
What's the matter, bro? Got a little rough back
You
there?
alright, man?
You be all right. You gonna be all right. Let's get it.
Who being in the form of Yahweh, thought it not robbery to be equal with Yahweh.
See, being in the form of Yahweh. It didn't say he was Yahweh. Being in the form showing he still was created by Yahweh. But it's not. Go ahead, read what else it says.
but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men.
So we're seeing everything, how he became lowly and put his brother above himself. Y'all, didn't count it robbery to be equal, because he know I was there at the beginning. I'm the original us. That's not robbery where his glory was from the beginning. Everybody else want to start him from his birth in Nazareth. Like that's when it just started. That's why all of his writing was, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be. If you think the beginning started in Nazareth, you way off course. You missed the entire supernatural. That's why your whole covenant is based off of Joseph being the biological dad, because you're stuck in Nazareth. No, this go way back before the war in heaven. If you don't understand the war you're in the wrong covenant. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 8. And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross.
See, everybody want to go to the kingdom, but don't nobody want to die. If the mark of the beast came out tomorrow, it'd be trouble. It would be trouble. Who hungry now and just ate? This morning. Who had breakfast? Who had breakfast? Who done prepared for fasting for 40 days at least? Who?
That's something to think about, ain't it, boy?
How long y'all think that last loaf of bread gonna last at the Dollar General? We done seen what happened with the riots. Wiped out. Looting supervisors up in there eating sandwiches and pistols on their side. He's supervising loot. No, get them cups over there. Get that over there too.
Oh, man. All right.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 9. Wherefore Yahweh also hath highly exalted
What
him,
has he done?
highly exalted him, and given him a name which is above every name.
Beautiful.
That at the name of Jesus, every knee should bow, and things in heaven, and things in earth, and things under the earth.
So this covenant is different from what we read in Genesis 1:26 that they made for man. He's ruling heaven and earth. Gotta understand that. Everything, the firmaments, all of it is under his rulership. Go ahead, bro.
And that every tongue should confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of Yahweh the Father.
See how he's the glory of the Father? So when you read that Isaiah, like a lot of them go to and say, well, he said he ain't gonna give his glory to another. He's not. Because that's who he's already gave it to. Christ is the glory of the Father. He ain't gonna give it to nobody else. Ain't nobody else gonna represent like that. He's the glory of the Father. He's full representation of who's sitting on that throne that don't move off of it. Go handle that business over there. Sodom and Gomorrah are out of control. Will you handle that before Mount Sinai? What was they charged with? It's before Mount Sinai.
Yeah.
What law was they charged with that the Messiah told Abraham, I'm finna go get busy over there? And Abraham said, Lord, please, if it's 50, will you destroy? If it's 50. If it ain't 50 people in 5 cities, y'all, that's trouble, ain't it? Think about Jennings, St. Louis County, Ferguson, all of them, and it ain't 50 people in their righteous. He said 40, 30, 20, 10. He stopped at 10. He like, oh man, 5 cities and it ain't 10 people?
That's messed up.
Lot, his wife, and his 2 daughters. And the one got to the finish line and looked back. Looking back for what? At what? We got to look ahead, y'all. We keep looking back to old covenants. That's flesh covenant. Keep looking straight ahead. Look to the hills, y'all. Don't look back. Go ahead. Where we at?
Verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Work out whose salvation? Mali's salvation.
No.
Your own salvation.
Work out Yaquin's salvation.
Your own salvation.
Y'all, you got to work out your own. You're signing this covenant agreement with your heart. You got to work that out. Most High say, ask questions if you need to about the agreement you in. Like you can call up DirecTV now. I want to ask y'all about this. See, I was supposed to have the premium package and I got infomercial. What's going on here with this covenant I'm in? You can ask the Father those same things through the Messiah. What's going on? He going to give you instructions about that covenant you signed. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 13. For it is Yahweh which worketh in you, both to will and to do of his good pleasure.
Of his what?
Of his good pleasure.
Go ahead.
Do all things without murmurings and disputing.
See, if you got to murmur about what you're doing, it ain't about the Lord. You just a pawn in the game and you accept that as a lowly servant. But it ain't about me, it's about everybody else. If you ain't got that concept, you in the wrong covenant. If you're looking for pats on the back, so to speak,
Right.
you're in the wrong covenant. You are doing what you're doing in exchange for eternal life. Where it's way above a pat on the back. You get a crown on your head and a lot over there where there's many mansions. Not a compound with everybody sitting around together surrounded by a Home Depot fence. No, you get a mansion. And that's on the low end here. They say a mansion starts 20 rooms or more is a mansion. He said, my Father's house, there's many mansions. Many meaning, again, the majority in my Father's house, there's mansions. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 15. That ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of your house, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world.
You can hold right there. Y'all read the rest of that on your own time. We just got to speed through it a little bit. John chapter 5.
You got Hebrews 1 on that?
I get Hebrews 1 on
Hebrews 1?
Yes, sir.
That's 1 through
Get
5.
in right after that. John chapter 5, verse 19 through 23. Yeah, y'all, and there's so many, covenants of men and the Most High. We get to the point of the ones that, what we're talking about, salvational issue covenants. That we have to be in the right line of things. When you say certain things, somebody ought to know what covenant you under. Right now, if you ask anybody else, it's so many camps out here, you say, what's the order of Melchizedek? They looking at you like, who you talking about, General, Your Honor?
Not at all. You say John chapter 5?
Yes, sir. So verse 19.
19, you hit your 2 already? And then we hit that Hebrews 1.
The book of John chapter 5. Verse 19. Then answered Yahushua and said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself.
Can do nothing of what?
Himself.
Right.
But what he seeth the Father do. For what things soever he doeth, these also doth the Son likewise.
That's why sin couldn't be found in him. Because he saw what his father, he never saw his father turn on his own commandments. Go ahead.
For the Father loveth the Son, and showeth him all things that himself doeth. And he will show him greater works than these, that ye may marvel. For as the Father raiseth up the dead, and quickeneth them, even so the Son quickeneth whom he will. For the Father judgeth no man, but hath committed all judgment unto the Son.
So we see now when we keep seeing in them Psalms, and he will bust the head of kings. You understand what judgment is given to him. That's why it's not counted equal for him to not robbery is not
He ain't taking
advantage from his father.
Right.
If you understand, judgment has been given to him. Now he's worthy to be worshiped as the God that he is, but not in place of the Father. He's been given dominion over what he laid his life down for. Negroes talking about they lay down their life for their partner, blood and crip. Let them get locked up. Call his house. What's up, S-Dog? What's up, Murder Joe? Man, I need some hello. Hello. Kill at a drop of a dime, man. Yeah, this me. Accept a call. Yeah. Hello. Hey, man, I need some hello. Can't get commissary out. Go ahead, bro. Put it on the line for a false covenant.
That's right.
This our block. How you gonna sign up for a covenant of that? And the block was took by the United States government. Right. You done took that from them? Right here, see, it's signed over by order of Donald Trump. You own Co-Brilliant. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 23. That all men should honor the Son.
What should they do?
Honor the Son. Even as they honor the Father. He that honoreth not the Son, honoreth not the Father, which hath sent him.
That's clear English, ain't it? Go ahead, brother.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me, have everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life.
Right.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of Yah, and they that hear shall live. For as the Father hath life in himself, so hath he given to the Son to have life in himself, and hath given him authority.
Have given him what?
Authority to execute judgment also, because he is the Son of Man.
You can hold that. So we understand this us concept that Satan wanted in on. Yo, this is what the war was about. He won't in on that. I look better than Christ. You made me look better than him. I can't get in on that. Have you heard me? You know how you made me to say, ooh, ooh, ooh. It's like, this ain't for you. Sing to the angels. That's what you got those pipes for. Sing to the angels. Y'all ever watch that show Lucifer?
Yeah.
He own a club
Called Lux.
He's playing the piano and he's singing with sweet melodies. Y'all ain't no coincidence. Where y'all think they're getting a script from? All right, y'all, so that was just kind of showing that covenant between the Father and Son, y'all, that we have to acknowledge first and foremost. Now we just want to get into the ones of the covenants of man and Yah that's be given to man, so we understand the bestowing bruh taught last week. What's the covenant binding to that bestowing? You can't give away false doctrine, corrupt doctrine. That's not the bestowing he was talking about. Genesis chapter 8, y'all, we're going to move through this because we run out of time a little bit. Genesis chapter 2, verse 15 through 25 is where the Most High then broke down the covenant with Adam, and Eve was given to him as a wife. But we're going to get right to the covenant that he made with Noah, and we're going to move up until the time where we at right now. Genesis chapter 8, verse 15, we're going to get into the covenant that he made with Noah, because there's many covenants, but all these covenants play into one. Because what's going on, bro? You good?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. So these covenants, y'all, are many, but they all work it that same in the one. And this ain't the first time he said it. He said it through all the scripture. For this new covenant is an old covenant. He's the same yesterday as today. That covenant ain't changed.
Book of Genesis chapter 8, you say 15?
Yes, sir.
The book of Genesis chapter 8. We start at verse 15.
Y'all, these are various covenants given to us that worketh that same, because they deal with prophecy. And the Father says on record, I cannot lie. I will never lie. If you done seen a flood on the level of Noah and you done seen a rainbow, then point it out, date and time. Go ahead, brother.
The book of Genesis chapter 8, verse 15. The Most High spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful, and multiply upon the earth.
So we see in here the same commandment is given, the beginning commandment of power over the earth.
Right, like it was in Genesis.
Like it was in Genesis. So we're seeing this is off the ark. This is when the waters abated. And the dove came and he's like, okay, it's enough for us to open the doors to this ark. Go ahead.
Verse 18. And Noah went forth, and his sons and his wife, and his sons' wives with him, every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kinds, went forth out of the ark. And Noah builded an altar unto Yahweh, and took of every clean beast, and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar.
Now y'all see this covenant, this is way before Mount Sinai,
Right.
and this is an animal sacrifice.
And
there's no sins in the world, because those sins were on the other side. So what is he sacrificing? For the Passover, for passing over, let me get through the flood, me and my offspring. So there's a sacrifice made with the living creatures that are brought on the ark, that's sacrificial, clean creatures. So he's making this sacrifice, or this built an altar and sacrificing, and there's no sin here, y'all. Y'all have to understand that. He went through salvation. He was saved from the destruction of the Most High. But yet he still understands that covenant that he was born in the seed of Adam that must come to pass. Christ must take over again and get creation back in order. So he still understands that I have to take the dirt nap one day. But as far as physical death, I escaped that this time. Like Moses couldn't go see the promised land because he did what? Struck the rock. This is a difference here. He was told to die. You can't see it. So Noah seen the salvation of the world. All wickedness wiped out. Only thing lurking around is Satan and them evil spirits, because they can't die yet. They supernatural. So he's making a covenant, and this is why some are asked about that Ezekiel 48, where it looked like the priests are sacrificing. The same thing. Sin is gone. We're making an offering of the Passover, so to speak. Thank you. Thank you for what you did for us. So that sacrifice go down. And they actually think this means we're going to bring back the priesthood of Aaron, them non-messianic.
Yeah.
Y'all crazy.
And we're going to be offering sin sacrifices for our iniquities.
In the kingdom?
Yeah.
Where you at, bro? Read some more.
Verse 21.
Uh-huh.
And the Most High Yah smelled a sweet savor.
What he smell?
A sweet savor.
Uh-huh.
And the Most High Yah said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground anymore for man's sake.
Right.
For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done, while the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold, and heat, and summer, and winter, and day, and night shall not cease.
And it ain't ceased yet, have it?
No.
Let's get right down into the covenant that he made with the earth. Right here with Noah's well. Let's hit this Genesis 9 right there, 8 through 17. We're going to move a little bit, y'all.
Book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 8. And Yah spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and I, behold, I establish my covenant with you.
What is he establishing?
I establish my covenant with you.
So we see here that sacrifice was accepted and was a sweet savor.
Yes.
Okay, we can talk now. You think they could have thrown a ham shank on there and these words would have been mentioned? And understand this, before Mount Sinai, Noah had on there clean and unclean animals.
So he knew the difference.
So the law was already into effect then. It was just oral mostly. We just spoke the law because the heavens were open, the portals were open. This is what we're trying to get back to, where that iron, that brass ceiling that's above us now, because of our sinning, it's been blocked off. Just like the Garden of Eden and his angels that block it off. You read a lot of that in Daniel 10th chapter, where Michael had to scrap with angels blocking prayers. 21 days.
Yeah.
So a prayer could get through of Daniel. He scrapped. Y'all, that's the war we in. That's the war you was born in. A supernatural war that you need angels' help. They help get your prayers up there and do the right thing, or as guardians around us. That pistol loaded up with all kind of new magazines on a 9mm. If you need that many shots, every day of your life is trouble. Whatever you got to kill with that, if it ain't the United States government or some army, what you got this many, a canister for who? Little Earl around the corner? Where we at? We finished that?
Yeah,
No, we're at 9.
Verse 9 again. And
Yeah.
I, behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth.
So is it on record anywhere from the time this was said up to now that there's another flood? Because if it was, we wouldn't be here. Or where's the start of the ending of that flood? See, this covenant ain't been broke yet. I don't care how the rain fall and what you see, water flowing down the streets, it ain't gonna never get back to destroying mankind off the earth. Go ahead, bro.
And Elohim said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generation.
How many generations?
Perpetual generation. I do set my bow in my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth.
See, that's a covenant between me and the earth. So the Most High has made a covenant with the earth that I won't wipe everything out. I won't destroy every living thing on earth, including beasts, trees, plants, shrubs, everything. That's a covenant. That rainbow come out.
Right.
I don't care how it storm and the sun come out seconds later and what you see up there. That covenant. He don't go back on his word. But yet we got the dark side out here that want to take that rainbow and make another covenant with it. A covenant of death and sodomy. And march up and down the streets with a man with a boy on a dog chain with his buttocks out.
With chaps on.
And chaps. And they have a rainbow hanging out their back pocket. So now got you scared to even say the word rainbow, so you don't want to be associated with that. They didn't have it first. Just like the 31st Halloween, that ain't Satan's day. Satan doing dirt on the Lord's day. That's all it is. If you change your game plan and give him power to the day of the Lord, shame on you. That ain't his day. He just chose that day for his wickedness. Yeah, at least he told you. That's how crafty he is. I'm going to tell you today, we're going to change your father's laws and put you into another covenant. What you going to do about it?
Right.
Sunday also.
You can worship on Sunday, you just can't call it the Sabbath. See, we have to be careful of that because Paul worshiped and he did a lot of work on the first day of the week.
Right.
But you can't call it the Sabbath. Where we at?
Verse 14. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the water shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be, and the bow shall be in the clouds. And I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between Yah and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth.
Read verse 17.
Verse 17. And Elohim said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth.
So that covenant. So now we're seeing we got two we rocking right now here. We got the us covenant, the originals. And then we got this covenant of the earth and everything and every man that's on earth that they have to follow behind. So we're keeping our covenants in order.
Right.
And we have to know when it says he gives them the covenants and the ordinance and the giving of the law. We just looking at it like it's just this group right here. We got a whole lot we're responsible for and understanding it so we don't lose track of as it was in the beginning. If you don't understand them covenants and you stuck on Mount Sinai, that's going to be a problem for you. You in middle covenant. Middle covenant don't guarantee life. If it would, there would be no reason to bring a second covenant in that's going to supersede that. Would it? Where we at?
Verse 18.
Yeah.
And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem and Ham and Japheth, and Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread.
So everybody got off the ark had the covenant of all these nations. Let's not get it twisted. They didn't start, or wickedness didn't start with them getting off the ark. When they got off the ark, they had the covenant. Just like Esau had the covenant and Isaac and Jacob had it. All of them had the covenant. Cain was given the covenant, but they went left field. So y'all, we have to understand that so you don't just look at it like they got off the ark wicked. They had the covenant, they turned rogue. And went back to the covenant they saw on this when the Most High destroyed the earth. When the giants and what was going on that compared with when he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. That's the covenant they went back to, that they remember seeing that. Turn back. You saw the destruction and you turn back. Now a person that keep doing the same thing and the same results happen, bad for them, what do they call that person? So why do we keep going back to bad covenants and we know we're going to be called what? Insane. There's nothing sane what you're talking about. You're trying to save your flesh that's set for corruption. Go ahead, bro.
You know when you watch the pain when you buffalo for your own faults.
Say again.
When you say watch the pain when you buffalo for your own faults.
I'm not understanding.
Watch the pain when you
why complain when
when
you're making your own decisions, and that's what we love to do. Blame it on somebody else.
Going back, that's your fault.
And keep looking back. Keep going back to that old way. The new man will never show up. Because you keep the old man in the closet on reserve. Soon as you hear old way covenant going on, what? The old covenant, old way covenant extravaganza? Where? Downtown. Smell of wine, swine is thick in the air. But there's a lot of loose women. I'm going. Old man, come out the closet and put him on. Yeah, this gonna kill her. Stacy's pointed just like I like him. Old man back on the scene.
What the old man doing in the closet anyway?
Yeah, that's what we talk about. He on reserve.
He's supposed to be buried.
He's supposed to be dead.
Buried.
Genesis chapter 12, verse 1 through 4. Y'all, we're gonna move through this real quick. Y'all got a couple more.
What'd you say, Elder? Chapter 12?
Yes, sir. 1 through 4. And y'all, this is very important for us to understand this, but you got to be under the vibration of this covenant for this to work for you. It's the only way. It ain't gonna work under another covenant. He's not gonna give his glory to another. You ain't gonna create your own covenant and say the Lord got this. Go ahead, bro.
Genesis 12 and 1. Now the Lord had said unto Abraham, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and I will make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing.
So he gonna be what he's gonna create. He gonna become that, a blessing to all nations. He gonna be a blessing. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
So in this covenant, so y'all, if you're using this is, if you under this vibration, anybody that's cursing you or putting a stumbling block in your way, you can use this. Because he say, I'll curse them that curse you. But you got to be in line with the covenant. You can't use this running home, starting fights like we used to, and then run home and hope your big brother answer the door and come out there and handle your work. You be like old Israel said his daddy was when he run home and pounded on the door, and the boy right on the steps behind him. His daddy opened the door and seen the boy chase him and slam the door back shut. Fight your battle.
Right.
And he said he had to turn around and went to work. And the door opened back up. But y'all, we can't play this getting in trouble. I'm just going to go to the Lord, or I'm going to church next weekend. I just need to hear some of the word. Just next weekend? Nothing after that. So this, I just swipe left when I don't feel like dealing with the Lord. But today, oh yeah, I got to get me some today. Just today? One day is, you got lithium battery type of understanding that one day lasts for you for till it run out again. Let's hit this. Where we at?
Verse 4. So Abram departed, as the Most High had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran.
So the Most High said, I'm going to make a covenant with you. You got to leave though. You got to leave here. Y'all, that's faith and belief. That's faith. I don't know where I'm going, but you done told me I'm leaving. I believe it. Y'all, this faith that he had was before Mount Sinai. And this faith was in the Messiah. Genesis 15. And y'all, we're just going to read a little bit of this, but this is the covenant that gave Israel the blood covenant. This is that covenant. So we see another covenant being made within this covenant. Yo, we have to know so we understand. So when you're hearing somebody talking and you're discerning the spirit. If he says, I'm of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, those were the covenants. He didn't say, and Moses. Moses talked about that covenant. Moses rewrote that covenant. Moses wrote all of Genesis, but he's writing about that covenant. But the covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and who? Jacob. That's the God, that's the covenant. When you hear that, you know all of the name trying to get them that. You got to say Yehoshua. You have to say Yeshaya. You have to say the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You're talking about that covenant. And these men that moved through that covenant, just read the agreements and see if they violated those covenants. The covenant he made with Aaron and Moses was to give you these instructions. That's the covenant he made with them. One he made a high priest. You can go back here and give him these covenants. You can go back here, but they all represent the one that's to come. Y'all just doing shadow work right now. But big covenant coming. Where we at? We finished that? Genesis 15. Yeah.
Verse 1.
Yeah.
Genesis chapter 15, verse 1. After these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abram in a vision.
How it come to him?
In a vision.
So we see we got vision work here as well. So it ain't nothing new under the sun when Joel said your son's gonna prophesy. Acts 2, your son's gonna prophesy, dream dreams and visions. Abraham was having visions as well. In the supernatural. Talking to the Most High. Go ahead.
In a vision, saying, fear not, Abram, I am thy shield.
I am thy what?
I am thy shield. And thy exceeding great reward.
So what anybody doing with a hexagram? I ain't seen I am thy hexagram. I am thy six-pointed star. That's another covenant. Go ahead.
And Abram said, Lord God, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless, and the steward of my house is this Eleazar of Damascus?
So you see what he's saying? He like, right now, the promise saying I'm gonna have children, and the only son I got is an adopted son, my servant Eleazar, that I treat like my own son. That's what you're talking about? You see how you can ask the Lord questions? But we don't want to go in our closet and talk to him like he's a father. We want to go through somebody else. Man, go talk to God for me. No, every tub got to sit on his own bottom. You got to work out your own salvation. Go talk to him and he'll listen. Can't nobody else go talk to him for you. Go ahead, where we at?
And Abram said, behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir. And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, this shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir.
So now we got a supernatural miracle coming up here. He 99 and his wife 90. And they talking about having children. Who believed it?
Right.
Some of y'all got grandparents in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And a child finna be born. Who gonna push it on the swings? You think Abraham gonna be able to toss him a ball? Yes, he will, because 99 to him was like our 35 when he's in full covenant. Y'all, we're gonna skip down. Y'all read a little bit more of that on your own time sake, but we're gonna skip right down to verse 7.
Verse 7. And he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought thee out of Ur and of the Chaldeans to give thee this land to inherit it. And he said, Lord God, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? And he said unto him, take me an heifer of 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon.
And a pig.
And a young pigeon.
Okay.
And he took unto him all these, and divided them in the midst, and laid each piece one against the other. But the birds divided he not. So
all of these righteous animals here, and this is a sacrifice too here, and there's no sin being mentioned here. But we got another sacrifice going on, a covenant about to be given. So all of the pieces he split, the calf and the other, and laid them apart, but the birds he just left them together. So this is a very important covenant. This is the blood covenant that's passed to the children of Israel. This is the covenant that Esau hated so bad that we had. This is the covenant that the whole world hate that you have flowing through your veins. The blood covenant that if you mate with anybody or anybody mate with you, they get miscegenated out. If it was about miscegenation, they wouldn't write laws in this land about miscegenation. If all they had to do was, look, we're going to lock all the men up and kill the rest of them tonight, and then we'll have our way with the women. That would have been simple work, wouldn't it? But they had to make a law. We can't let y'all get together. They have the blood covenant. Both man and woman, whoever we mate with is us. That's the us covenant. It's in Exodus 24:10, Acts 16:1. The daughter of Dan, and Acts 16:1. Timothy, father was a Greek, mother an Israelite. In this same story in the Old Testament, daughter of Dan of the tribe of Dan, and had a baby by an Egyptian. So the blacker of the black mated with us, and still they Israel. Because the boy, that offspring, was judged under this covenant. Same thing with Timothy. Father was a Greek, but his mother was an Israelite. So both examples we see who got the blood, who got the juice. What you got, bro? What, 24:10? Leviticus 24:10. I'm sorry, y'all. Leviticus 24:10. Go ahead, where we at?
Verse 12. No. Yeah, verse 11.
Yeah.
Verse 11.
Yeah, go ahead. 10. Go ahead, 10 again. Yeah, go ahead, 10 again, yeah.
And he took unto him all these, and divided them in the midst, and laid each piece one against another. But the birds divided he not. And when the fowls came down upon the carcasses, Abram drove them away. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram. And lo, and horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
How many years?
400 years.
Right.
And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance.
So we got a prophecy here of servitude of 400 years. Who is he looking at? Who done 400? Who doing 400? So y'all, this ain't nothing new. It has to go for the generations because it's spelled out that way. Ain't nothing we could do to stop it. Right. Before we found out who we was, we believed who they said it was, didn't we? Right. We always said, oh, them the Jews, they special. You said that unconsciously from just hearing. Those the Jews, God loved them more. And you be like, why? Look at them, no. What is it? Oh, well, I guess if they're God's chosen people, but something just didn't sit right, y'all, when y'all used to see what they was doing. You like, wait a minute, how can they be doing that? And these God's people? Well, he used them to make us jealous, to let us see what we were doing when we got kicked out of the land for not keeping the covenant, keeping somebody else's covenant. Right. That's what we was doing first. Where do you think they got it from? Where we at? We finished that? Okay.
I'm on 15.
Go ahead. Finish that on out.
Verse 15. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age.
So we know that was true because he lived to be 175.
Yeah.
So you see 99 having a child, he was ready. 175, y'all. Look, we just trying to get to retirement age to get some Social Security. 65. Go ahead. 67, 9. They done up to 2 years on. Go ahead.
No, we ain't gonna make it. But in the fourth generation, they shall come hither again for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. In the same day, the Lord made a covenant with Abraham.
What did he do?
Made a covenant with Abraham, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. The Kenites and the Kenizzites and the Kadmonites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Rephraims and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Girgashites and the Jebusites.
So he give us all that land. All of that came with the covenant too. And you got two people over there fighting for land that don't belong to them. Like Crips and Bloods fighting over Sarah. They fighting over land that don't belong to neither one of them. They didn't get the covenant. They can't prove it. Not in these scriptures they can't. So that's why they created the Talmud and the, what's that, Kabbalah and all the other dark books to try to get this covenant back. Genesis 28:10. Y'all, we just moving through the covenants and then we speed up. We just got a couple more.
That Genesis what else?
28:10. And this is, see, we're moving through. I'll tell you what, hit 27 and 37 so we can see the covenant before we get to Exodus and see what Moses was instructed to give. We want to see who is passing through. See, we got to be able to understand and know when the connection and the bestowing went through each son, from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob. And we say we serve the God of who? AI and Jacob. (27 and 37).
Genesis chapter 27, verse 37.
And y'all, and this is after Jacob was given the blessing and Esau had come in. This is Isaac's response about who the blessing went to. Go ahead.
And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord.
What has he made him?
I have made him thy Lord. And all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
See, and when he said all of his brothers he had made with servants, who were his brothers? Ishmael and Esau, them tribes. Everything coming out of Abraham, his descendants, this one got the inheritance. These are the ones got the inheritance. Out of all of the different nations, Abraham was in on the Kenites, wasn't it? Is that from his next wife, Keturah, came from? The Midianites. But this blood covenant, even though Ishmael came out of the loins of Abraham, this covenant, the inheritance, went through Jacob. So all I'm dealing with groups of tribes. Ishmael had 12 princesses, right? You get 12, 13 out of Esau in Genesis 36, the dukes and the demons, tribes. And then you got Jacob and his 12 tribes. This is the covenant people. These are the sons and grandsons of Abraham, but one gets Deuteronomy 7 and 6. One get that Genesis 15 out of them. That's what the war is about, y'all. Who gonna get it? Let's read some more. Where we at? 27 and 37. Go ahead. Or you at 38?
Yeah, I'm at 38.
Uh-huh.
And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
See, he crying because that was the supernatural blessing. That was the everlasting blessing. That's the servitude till never. because it don't end. Y'all gonna be servants to him forever. When the order shifts, they got it forever. That's why you hate it above all people. And you hate it even more because you don't know.
Yeah.
And when they see you act like you don't know, and they hate you even more. Y'all ever wonder why they hate us? What did we do to them to make them hate us like this? We were slaves we built because you disrespected that blood covenant. You rather take on this covenant of death with us. Oh, he should have gave it to us. You niggas crazy. Go ahead, where we at?
Verse
39.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwellings shall be the fatness of the earth,
Right.
and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessings wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart,
In his word?
in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
So that's the hit, y'all, about that covenant. In his heart. And Psalm 83, he got the rest of the nations of the world to join in with him. Y'all want to be slaves to him forever? All we got to do is keep doing this to him. Keep introducing other covenants to him. And our kingdom will keep lasting. We can keep going. All we got to do is keep introducing them to other covenants. So that's why we chase every other holiday and folly day, because we don't know what the true covenant is we're supposed to be chasing. And it's days. What we got coming up, y'all?
Feast of the Dedication.
Anybody know when it is?
December 12th.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, people,
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. See, but if you stop doing Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter and don't say what you just said, you still spinning your wheel, the devil still win. It's just a TKO. He's still winning. You can't quit this and not get back where you're supposed to be. You got to replace it with something, or you're going to be sitting idle. And an idle mind going to join back up sooner or later, because you don't know what you ought to be doing for them to look so they can stop. You just going to tell them to stop and just be sitting there while they having a good time and you trying to act hard? I don't see y'all. I don't see y'all opening them presents. I don't see y'all. I don't see y'all. I'm looking straight at the TV. What you got, bro?
But I was told this morning they celebrate the resurrection.
They should do what?
Celebrate the resurrection on the 25th
On the 25th.
of December.
Oh, okay. Well, once again, a different covenant, because the covenant that the Messiah left, he said, honor my what?
Death. And they all know Christmas supposed to be about his birth.
Yeah.
So that, again, off again.
Right. But see, they can't name a date like all of our feast days tell us. Leviticus 23 break it down. Yeah. On the first day of the month at evening, do this.
Yeah.
On the 10th day of the month at evening. Where have you read anywhere in here on the 25th of December of the Gregorian calendar? Thou shalt buy gifts and empty your pockets out and don't pay none of your other bills. Thou shalt be angry when thou get a toast and has given a fur coat.
You got a toast.
Thou hast no money, thou shalt reach for the 9mm and rob and kill to get something on this day. Where y'all reading that at? Who covenant is that? That covenant we was warned in Jeremiah 10. Have not way of the heathen, for they go out and get a tree, deck it with silver and gold. That was going on 3,000 years before the Messiah was born. They was doing this day that's coming up. Ain't got nothing to do with this covenant. Even though they walking around with the covenant book, they're promoting a different covenant. That's why you have to listen, be it and observe if they have this. Let me see what he's talking about. Because he got the covenant in his hand. He just ain't read the fine print.
Yeah.
The print that's in red. It ain't this small where you don't say, go get my magnifying glass, come back. It's bold and it's in red. Do you need any more help? The covenant is in red. Don't they say it? WWW, what would Jesus do? Keep the covenant. That's what he'll do.
That's right.
Keep the commandments. That's what he'll do. How you been taught every first day of the week that them commandments don't mean nothing anymore? So I can do whatever I want. And you point the finger at the pedophile? How you mad at R. Kelly? Let him pee away then. Where we at in this? The 28.
Mad at R. Kelly here.
28 and 10, Genesis. Speed it up just a bit, y'all. Because I want to get to the heart of the receivers, the bestowers of this covenant. Y'all, we have a responsibility. You got a name brand. We rock our slave name like they mean something. Nigga, you better ask them niggas about the Tates. You better ask them about the Jeffersons and the Johnsons. Nigga, we Johnsons. Johnsons go back to the plantation. Off the Johnson plantation. You're rocking a different covenant. Go ahead, read that, bro.
Genesis chapter 28, verse 10.
What it say?
And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. And he delighted, and he lightened upon a certain place, and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place, and put them in his pillars, and lay down in that place.
And you want to know these stones about? Bro did an excellent class on the way here, Yaki. What's the name of that class with them stones? Jacob's ladder. Thank you, bro. Staircase to a higher conscience. See that out on Honor and Milton. Go ahead.
And he came, and he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth.
Right.
And the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of Yahweh ascending and descending on it.
So y'all, we see this as another supernatural visitation. First with Abraham, then with Isaac getting the blessing, and now it's with Jacob. So if you understand then how the covenant is who is being passed through, who gets that everlasting covenant, that covenant that rules every nation on earth, who is passing through. See, if you don't understand that this covenant didn't go to Ishmael, then Farrakhan will trick you. And they'll bring up some tribe called the tribe of Shabbat. Y'all read that in Genesis 49. I see it starting off with the brothers. Reuben, Levi, Simeon, Isaac, Dan. Have anybody seen Ishmael in that group? That Jacob said, come over here and let me bestow a covenant on you. Let me pass it to you. So what is he talking about but a different covenant? He's saying Ishmael in on this covenant, and we Ishmael. Yo, that's just like the Masons, Freemasons. You got Scottish and York, right? The two owners of that covenant. And then you got Prince Hall, the Negro part of it. Any black man, so to speak, that's in Freemasonry is Prince Hall. No Scottish or York right. See, they don't let you into their covenant unless it's about serving them and become what you were ordered to do to them. They were supposed to be your servants, but we get in covenants and serve them. You a 33rd degree. My uncle a 33rd degree Freemason. Well, since the 30th degree, he had to acknowledge that Lucifer is God. Did you know your uncle said that? Did you know your uncle is that covenant? Well, they got books out that say when they reach this degree, that's their books. When you reach this degree, 30th, you have to acknowledge Lucifer is God. Jehovah's Witnesses, their founder, Charles Taze Russell, was a 33rd degree Freemason. Look up his headstone and see what you see. And when they stop at the door again, tell them, your founder was a Freemason. And loved Lucifer. So is that who you promoting here knocking on my door early? That's the covenant y'all under? They don't even know it. It's a shock to them. What? Yeah. Freemason. Well, I don't know about all that, but you see the watchtower here. It shows a white Jesus, and you're playing with a German Shepherd over here. It looks like Grant's Farm, but this is the way it's going to be. Y'all ever seen woolly hair, red eyes on the covered watchtowers? No. And children around? That's what this covenant say he looked like. Where'd they get that description from? Where we at, bro? You finished that to 15?
15. No, wait.
You can hold that, y'all. That was Genesis 28:10 through 15. So y'all, now we see the covenant of how we got to who our God is named after, so you know what covenant is. The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Have y'all seen anywhere else, Genesis through Revelation, where it adds somebody else into that covenant? He's the God of Moses, true. But it's the difference in who the covenant made and say, this one gonna run till the Messiah sets it in order. And he's gonna be the covenant king. Everybody agree? Everybody said we agree. Where we at? You on 13? We're gonna finish that up there to 15.
And behold, verse 13, and behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord, God of Abraham, thy father, and the God of Isaac.
So why did he stop right there? You see, he's making a covenant with him, but he only named who? Abraham and Isaac. He said, I'm the God of these two right here. Jacob ain't been brought into the covenant yet. I'm the God of Abraham and Isaac. That was in there first. Because that's who you need to know who the covenant was passing down through. Who was the bestowing receivers. At this point, he's telling Jacob, go ahead.
The land where thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth. And thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed.
So now it's passing it on down. The covenant is going to the third individual at this point. Supernatural vision happening. The same exact location, Bethel, where Abraham was at. Is this a special location? Skip down to verse 20. Just read them last two.
Verse 20.
Yeah.
And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if Yahweh will be with me, and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat, and raiment to put on, so that I can come again to my father's house in peace, then shall the Lord be my God. And this stone, which I have set for a pillar, shall be Yahweh's house, and all that shall, and of all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give the tenth unto thee. So
right here, we got tithing before Mount Sinai, a tenth offering. So y'all see how all the laws was before a non-messianic trying to say, if you ain't getting it from They under that Aaron covenant still to this day. Not saying that covenant didn't exist and it didn't have importance, but it was the schoolmaster part of the covenant. It's just to bring us back, like when we come out of America, because all of us got different, we different things except who we are. Baptists, Jehovah's Witness, colors, Afro-Americans, African-Americans, all Black Lives Matter. We all that. Except the children of Israel that the scriptures is talking about. We under every other covenant but this covenant. You finished that? So y'all, let's move real rapidly. So we see right now Jacob has been included. Y'all, after that it stops. Let's get right to the heart of the matter when Moses comes on the scene. Exodus chapter 3. And then we're going to move into the New Testament. Y'all, we got about 5 more and we're going to close out. Because we got to show you who the receivers of this covenant is.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
I want to read about that Ishmael, man, just to read.
Go ahead. Oh, Ishmael?
Yeah, I want to read.
Go ahead.
When people say talk about the Muslims, if you want to be in that covenant and you really Israel, you can take them to Genesis 17 and show them that you're not even in the right covenant.
Right. Read that. Go ahead, bro.
Genesis 17, and I'm going to start at 18.
What it say?
And Abraham said unto Yah, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. And Elohim said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him.
With who?
With him. For an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. 21. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac.
Y'all see that? Yeah. So what Farrakhan talking about don't mean nothing. Don't care about who no tribe of Shabazz is. He said that's a tribe where some mad scientist made a white man. Like they making these sex dolls now. Some Negro was in a laboratory like this. Give me that blonde hair over there. Yeah. Those blue eyes off the shelf.
Right.
And it's the tribe of Shabazz, some mad scientist. That ain't in here. That ain't even in the book he say it's in, the Quran. It ain't even in that. Y'all understand why they do it? Then they have a magazine. That's what they pump in the magazine because it's precepts of men. The final, what is it? Final call or whatever it is. That's what they stand out on the corner and pump another covenant. Black man, know who you are. Black man, you read your Bible, but you a Muslim. What you doing in the Bible? Don't you think they'd be hollering, black man, know your Quran? They don't even know it. You know your Bible, brother, you know your Bible. Why? You a Muslim. You ain't in this covenant of the Bible. Y'all, but that's just what they'll say to make you think they in the covenant. And there we go. There we go. Just like the movie say. I ain't never heard a black man talk to a white man like that. So that's what's making you joining up? Shit, do you know he got, oh, excuse me, that he got paid. See if you can edit that, bro. He got paid to say that. And he's still getting paid to say it. Farrakhan gonna speak tonight. Gonna tell y'all who the real children of Israel did. How the numbers looking. All the seats filled except row E. Okay, that's good enough. That's about 2-3 million. Yeah, I'll tell them. And then get on there and say, we Esau. Farrakhan making a statement. He just said he loves Jesus. Jesus is his savior. He gonna have to pay for some things. Everybody in arms, oh, Farrakhan turning. What you so up in arms about him turning around for? He gonna say it today. He gonna say it today. Yes, I know he's my Lord and Savior. And then wait even a week later before the ink dried on them final calls. He right back at it. I know some of y'all, say, was Farrakhan, is he changing the way he thinks? Is Farrakhan a Muslim? Jesus was a Muslim. What covenant y'all done read that's under? Have y'all read that? They're clapping like seats. And preachers out there clapping too. Preachers out there clapping too. Of this book in their hands and they clapping. Jesus was a Muslim. Trickery again. Tuned in, a house full.
Right.
Money gone. They're here to charlatan at work again.
Farrakhan.
A philosopher. Let's get back to it, y'all. Exodus chapter 3, verse 11 through 15. And we're going to see what instructions Moses got and what covenant he was told we was going to be on. See, y'all, we got to understand this thing. Who he said the God was after. Y'all, that's laying it on the line. The covenant that was after. Who is the true us? Who got control? Who's in control? Who's worthy to be worshipped? To be called that true Holy One. Pure. Without blemish.
The Messiah.
Go ahead.
The book of Exodus chapter 3 verse 11.
What'd it say?
And Moses said unto Elohim,
What'd he say?
Who am I that I should go up to Pharaoh and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? And he said, Certainly, I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, ye shall serve Elohim upon this mountain.
See, and the Most High said like it's already done. He talking to him like it's already done. When you get through, this way y'all gonna be. Y'all gonna serve me over here. What no? And if you, I'm gonna be with you. Just tie your boots up tight. Now come on.
He gonna say no.
He told him point blank. And when you get here, when we get through here, word gonna go round about you. Not an inch of doubt in what he's talking about. Go ahead, brother.
And Moses said unto Elohim, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The power of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them?
See, Moses knew what the children of Israel said. We got the same problem today, don't we? What's his name? What's his name? What's the covenant? And you'll know what his name is. Get down to that and keep the discussion right there, and you won't get tied up into the holy roller names or sacred name holy rollers we call them. No, you got to say Yeshaya. No, you got to say it this way, Yehoshua. Yehoshua. Come on, ooh, ooh, make the ooh sound. Was we kicked out of the land for that?
No.
We knew how to say his name, didn't we? So he said we profaned his name, so was it that? Or did we do something else? Or was we rocking another covenant? Like Ezekiel 16 say. Let's read some more. Where we at?
Verse 14.
What'd it say?
And Elohim said unto Moses, I am that I am.
What'd he say?
I am that I am.
Let's not get into the semantics. I am that I am. What else you need? I ain't gonna sit here and play tiddlywinks. And you want to make sure the vowel with the hyphen comes over this when you speak to them. Go ahead.
And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am have sent me unto you. And Elohim said moreover unto Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, The Lord God of your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob have sent me unto you. This is my name forever.
How long?
Forever. And this is my memorial unto all generations.
So this is a memorial. Huh? You know, like you got Memorial Day here? This is a memorial. This is to be practiced and talked about. Who he says I'm the God of. The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. That covenant. That's my name. Know that covenant and you'll know who sent me. Not saying that the Hebrew names that he given are not sufficient, but what he wants us to understand is where it came from first. You can know the name and don't understand none of its writings, and you're going to get caught up with the prophets or the sheep that's spewing forth the bad fruit. An evil tree going to bring forth corrupt fruit. It can't bring forth good fruit. Nothing Farrakhan is talking about going to bring forth good fruit, because he's a man worshiper and got men worshiping him. He can say whatever he wants, wrong as the day is long, right, and the clapping gets more powerful. Try to outclap you. Did you hear them lies? Where we at? Verse where? We finished that?
Verse 16.
Uh-huh.
Go and gather the elders of Israel together, and say unto them, the Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob, appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you, and seen that which is done to you in Egypt.
So we can hold that. You can see who he's expressing and who he's telling him. Like, look, man, just go tell him that. The God of your fathers. So he's introducing him to a covenant that's going to be broke down to him later on at Mount Sinai. But this is where it's coming from. These individuals. But you see, at first he told them, I am that I am. He told them about the first covenant. Genesis 1:26. Let us make man in our image. I am omnipotent. I am total majesty. I'm all of the all. I'm the big muckety muck. I'm the top shelf. I'm everything you think about anything being. That's me. But it's a covenant for y'all. And its fathers are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Don't get it twisted. These boys set the example for the rest of y'all to get in line. If we don't adhere or acknowledge those covenants, we're going to chase a covenant that's already been told of us. It shall decrease. This one going to increase. How you staying in the decrease? Don't get it twisted, y'all. I ain't saying don't believe in the law. I'm saying as though it's just a shadow. That law was given so we can correct our flesh. It's for disobedience. You break these laws that Abraham and Isaac and Jacob was keeping, you get a stroke on your back. You try to talk to your children, don't you? When they keep messing up again, what comes out? Oh, you ain't gonna believe me. No, you don't believe me. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. No, you don't. You don't believe me. Yep. Get over here. Turn around, move your hand. Let's get some correction. That's what that period was for. Correction. And we saw it. It was swift. If you had a child that was unruly, you couldn't control them. You didn't put up with that. They took him to the elders. They say, what'd he do? You know what you got to do. You know what you got to do. And they would handle that flesh immediately to drive out other covenants than the covenant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Y'all, when we say that, y'all, we got to know what name we talking about and what it represents. That Genesis 15, when he made a covenant with Abraham, he said, I will never go back on this covenant, ever. Y'all ain't got to worry about it. If we seen a covenant, something else with that type of power, it would be listed in here. Let's move on, y'all. Got a couple more. Galatians chapter 3, verse 15. We're going to move it right up into the last few New Testaments, y'all. We're going to show the first receivers and the bestowers of this covenant, y'all, and we're going to close it out. And y'all, a lot of times we see when we came out of Egypt and it said 400 years, but it said it ended up being 430 years. That's 430 years. If you do the count from the time Abraham got that blessing, and you can look at the age he was when he got that blessing, to when we came and took over the land of Canaan, was 430 years. It was the whole sojourning. All of that's included. Because if you don't understand it from that perspective, some gonna say, see, that's why I don't. Now right here it said 400 years, and over here it say 430. You include all the covenants. That's all you got to have. Did you include all the covenants? Now let's recount. Y'all, it's naysayers out here that's looking at the Bible to try to prove it wrong. It's your responsibility, if you said I agree to the covenant, to fend that off. Because it's just child's play. All they doing is looking where it says a contradictory in the Bible. Oh, I'm going to get them with that one. Let's see how they respond. That's why church people get beat up so bad. And they reduce to saying, I don't care what you say. And I don't care what you read out that Bible. What you mean you don't care? So what are you saved from? But I know my Jesus. The one I'm in covenant with.
So you got that.
That you don't have to know laws and you can celebrate whatever you want and you could be the big mucky the mug. Not my Jesus.
They got that faith on. It's
That's
false.
a whole nother covenant.
Yeah.
Where we at? Galatians 3. Go ahead, bro. Start about 15. Y'all read on down and you'll see. Y'all start at verse 5 and y'all read on down. But we're going to pick it up right about 15 for time's sake. Go ahead.
The book of Galatians, chapter 3, verse 15.
Right.
Brethren, I speak after the manner of men, though it be but a man's covenant.
What kind of covenant?
A man's covenant. Yet if it be confirmed, no man disannulleth or addeth thereto.
So if it be confirmed as though this was a man covenant between Abraham and them passing it down, it can't be disannulled. It can't be wiped away though something else show up on the scene. It's here to stay. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob ain't going nowhere. And whoever you talk to about these holy name rollers, you say, can I just call him the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? What they gonna say? No?
Gonna cuss you out.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 16. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made.
Whether what made?
Promises made. He saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one.
Right.
And to thy seed, which is the Messiah.
See, that's what the whole covenant is about, to become the seed of the Messiah. His children. He's king over all the earth. He's making the judgment like he's the Father.
Everlasting Father.
He's the Isaiah 7. He should become the everlasting Father. That don't mean he's the Father, but he's going to be everything like a father to us. And then there's the Father. This was going to be bestowed on Adam till he tripped. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 17. And this I say, that the covenant that was confirmed before of Yah in the Messiah, the law which was 430 years after, cannot disannul, that it should make the promise of none effect.
See, so after you come out of Egypt, you think that covenant's over? No, it ain't over. It introduced that covenant so that you understand the first covenant perfectly. If your flesh take a whooping, maybe you will understand it a little bit better. Like I say, finally when your parents put that leather on you, that's called that act right. The Most High have storms that he deal with the nations called act right storms. They act right, y'all, after that. Because they call out his name and they begging him. If you don't want this no more, straighten up and fly right. Y'all ain't gonna never hear them holler the name of the Lord when they see them tornadoes coming and earthquakes. Lord Jesus, please! Atheists holler.
No nigga jokes, boy?
No nigga jokes. No two Negroes walk in a bar, Earl and Bill. No, none of that.
No fried chicken and watermelon jokes.
No, how do you starve a Negro? Hide his food stamps and his work boots. None of that. None of that. Like he ain't gonna never look for them.
Yeah.
Or look for his food stamp stamp.
And his work boots.
Where we at? All that stuff, bro. Where we at?
Verse 18.
Yeah.
For if the inheritance. That was funny.
Well, you ain't heard the half of the jokes till a storm comes. Go ahead.
For if the inheritance be of the law, it is no more promise, but Yah gave it to Abraham by promise.
So, and we get this twisted on the Sunday doctrine, try to make this say the law is done away with. It's not saying that. It's just saying if correction have to be about righteousness, then it's a problem because you ain't gonna get it unless you sin.
No doubt. The promise was made to Abraham
That's
before
right.
Moses even got a law on Mount Sinai. So the law that you received on Mount Sinai can't disannul what was already promised to Abraham. Kingdom gotta come, Messiah gotta set up and reign. Promises still must happen. And he gave it to Abraham while he was uncircumcised.
That's right.
He wasn't even circumcised yet. He said, count them stars right there. He said, Abraham, you believe that? And he counted to him for righteousness. Then made a covenant with him at the end of chapter 15.
That's right.
He wasn't circumcised in chapter 17. So Paul ain't saying nothing that ain't true. He like, look, the promise was already made before Moses was born.
That's right.
You feel me? So what Moses got, everybody keep running Moses. He like, what Moses got, don't disannul the promises that went down 430 years earlier.
That's right.
With Abraham in Genesis the 15th chapter. You see what I'm saying? So you got people hating Paul and try to talk crazy about Paul, but he quoting parts of the Old Testament.
That's right.
Y'all don't want to deal with. Abraham wasn't even circumcised, and the Most High promised him an eternal kingdom. You say a man can't get into the kingdom without being circumcised.
Right.
Abraham wasn't even circumcised, and the Most High gave it to him just because he believes. They count them stars. You believe that? That's how numerous your seed gonna be. Didn't have one child. That's how numerous your seed gonna be. You can number them stars right there. Abraham believed it, old man and all. Old girl still ain't had no baby. Old man and all believed it, didn't doubt. Today you say, no, that's impossible.
Right.
See, Most High promised it. He believed, miracle happened. You see what I'm saying? So what happened on Mount Sinai don't disannul what went down before Mount Sinai.
That's right.
That's all he's saying. He ain't saying nothing about you ain't got to keep no commandments or none of that. You understand? It's just a covenant was made through promise in full faith. You see? And had it not been made, then wouldn't none of us be here.
That's right.
Because y'all all violators, including myself or Moses. Everybody in here done violated Moses, what was given to Moses.
This morning.
You say this morning.
Right.
Everybody in here done violated in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So if you are a keeper of the Torah or the law, well, your circumcision profits you. But if you done violated, your circumcision has become uncircumcision. You see what I'm saying? Like that's there to remind you of covenants.
Right.
But how many times you done looked at it and still went against the covenant? How many times you done looked at your fringes and played with them right before you did some sinning?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you supposed to look at the fringes and supposed to remind you of covenant law.
That's right.
How many times you looked at them and said, look, throw that shirt over there in that corner. I'm about to handle my business. I'm going to push that behind.
And let's not get about that personal covenant that's on the end of a man.
Oh, man.
On his vessel, that covenant of circumcision before you go into something you ought not be into.
Yeah.
With that covenant in your hand, looking at it, guiding it.
You see? So what did that do for your conscience? What did it do for you to be like, I ain't supposed to be sinning? Outer cup symbols don't stop you from sinning. I mean, y'all have been water baptized, still go off and go to the strip joint. You ain't got to answer, I'm just saying. I'm saying, like, it's a whole bunch of stuff you done did outwardly that's supposed to mean you've been reborn.
Right.
That ain't did nothing for your conscience inwardly. You see? And that's all Paul going through. And he was showing the hypocrisy of the priests of his nation.
That's right.
And y'all rocking all this outwardly, but I know you. I saw you creeping out of old boy Berea's house the other day. I see you. You a thief.
With your fringes on.
Yeah. So hypocrisy. You can front like you keeping something all you want, but inwardly you a graveyard. And so all he's saying is what Moses got, don't disannul the promise Abraham had.
And Abraham got that on full faith being uncircumcised.
That's right.
But you say can't nobody get in unless their flesh has been removed. That's what you say.
Right.
Then why was Abraham promised a kingdom?
The kingdom.
Okay. All right, where we at, brother? Verse 19. Galatians 3 and 19. Wherefore then serveth the law? It was added because of transgressions, till the seed should come, to whom the promise was made, and it was ordained by angels.
Ordained by who?
Angels.
The preacher.
Angels.
Jesse Jackson.
Angels.
Louis Farrakhan.
Angels. In the hand of a mediator. Now I say to the seed should come. Go back to verse 17 and say that seed is Christ. Verse 16.
Yeah.
That seed is Messiah. So he was under Moses' administration till Messiah showed up. All right. Verse 20. Now a mediator is not a mediator of one, but Yah is one. Is the law then against the promises of Yah? God forbid.
What that mean? What that mean? Against, it's the law against the promise of God. See, this is telling you, when he say God forbid, H-E double hockey sticks, no.
Yeah.
No.
That's right.
What else it say?
For if there had been a law given, which could have given life, verily righteousness should have been by the law.
See, so this is what the non-messianics don't get. They actually think it's some brother in Atlanta that can forgive sins. How? What do you say? And how often do you go down there? If it had been a law to forgiving sin, it wouldn't have been no need for Christ to come back.
That's
He
right.
is a law. Faith. You got to believe he coming to set the record straight.
That's right.
If you don't believe that, what law you going to read that you can do unless there's some deeds that follow? But first you got to have faith and believe that he going to set the record straight. You're looking for some man to do it. We had a sister that started out with us many years ago. And she had a contract, her own contract. She on YouTube, if you don't believe it, holding up some Lou Fuse document.
Yeah.
And if you would sign the contract,
That's how she sounds.
stating that you will keep the laws of Moses. What about this contract? What are you drawing up another one for? I'm going to sign that one that you drew up. To prove. And all that contract say is that you won't believe in the Messiah. Because they don't.
Yeah, she
That contract is a contract to say, I will never believe in the Messiah. And they flocking up there to sign.
Yeah. She full-fledged hater of the Messiah too. I talked to her a couple months ago. She full-fledged hater. And she basically in church mode though. She's like, you can't keep no commandments or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't do that in captivity. Son Malachi, she's trying to call me a son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cause she an elder and all that. But she ain't nowhere near ready. Like, scriptures came out. They got the three-way me in with some Negro called himself an ambassador somewhere. Like, yes, I'm Ambassador Ibrahim or something. He wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Everybody none of them can handle them scriptures when you get right to the point on it. Man down. Yeah, her son. I didn't even know there was called his mama on me. Now, hold on, brother. Click up and then three-way and she on the phone. They full-fledged haters of Messiah, like ain't got no love for him. You feel me? Called him out his name and all that. I'm like, you know, you an elder. You know, I ain't going.
Is that hippie on the stick?
Yeah, that called him a chump. And I'm like, look, you might want to, I ain't gonna, you an elder, so I ain't gonna tell you what I want to say, but you might want to, what I'm saying, put some draws on them lips.
Them youngsters say, break yourself.
Yeah, you tripping hard. And ain't even versed, like, wasn't even ready, man. It just was like, I can't believe y'all falling for this.
Yeah. Because look, they didn't pull a 3-quart mile and she got another contract.
Yeah.
If you would sign this one.
That's how she sounded too. She was like, I'm telling you, son, I believe Yah allowed the white man to come up with the Constitution for us. I was like, it said we 3/5 of a man. What you like? It was made. It didn't make no sense at all, man. It just was crazy, man. I didn't get it.
See, because they don't have an end game.
Yeah.
So their end is to join who's in control right now. Because they won't believe in the Messiah. So that's their end game. Lou Fuse contract.
Yeah.
With your signature there, saying I will follow the other covenant. Just like Sunday morning doctrine. There's not the 10 commandments up there. It's called the church covenant.
Yeah.
That's what's posted. Yeah.
Oh, they go to the UN. They came up with their own flag.
Yeah.
They go to the UN, but they whispering.
Yeah.
Go to the UN. I'm watching around the UN so many times, but the Homeland Security, them like, look, y'all can't walk back around this building.
Right. No more.
All y'all getting locked up.
And they did.
They over there under their breath, mumbling. I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, power.
Hold on, high priest in Atlanta.
Yeah.
He doing something else. Let's just get it right here. Hit that John 8:58 for me.
You done with that?
Yeah, I'm done with that. Hit that John 8:58, y'all. I'm just move through a little bit, man. I'm gonna give you the rest of these because I'm gonna have to burn out. But Genesis 21:9 also matches up with this Galatians 3 about the bondwoman and the free woman, and the promise was given to the free woman, Sarah, not the bondwoman, which is Hagar, and her son Ishmael. That was the bondwoman. That was the handmaid. The promise didn't go through Ishmael. This is what Galatians is breaking off. So it ain't never broke ranks. It's still in dealing with Abraham and that covenant all the way in the New Testament. And both groups, the ones who hate the Messiah, Israelites, they don't know nothing about the order of Melchizedek. And the Christian church who say the Old Testament is done away with, they ain't got a clue who Melchizedek is. Both of them act like it's a mysterious being that show up when too many blunt buzzing in your ear sounds. Melchizedek, zoo, zoo, zoo. Ain't got a clue. Just ask them, what is the order of Melchizedek? Both sides, the church and non-messianics, and watch what you hear. They don't have a clue what that covenant's about. Not a clue. If you don't hear those words being talked about, you know you in the what? Thank you. Let's read some more. Where we at? John 8:58. And this just to show the Messiah spoke with Abraham, and that was him that told him, I'm finna go destroy Sodom and Gomorrah on orders of my father before Mount Sinai. Before Mount Sinai about sin. Go ahead, read that for me. Who is it on? Go ahead.
John chapter 8, verse 58.
But these two right here.
Yahweh shall say it unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abram was, I am.
So you rest there.
Then took they up stones to cast at him. But Yahweh shall hid himself and went out of the temple, going through the midst of them, and so passed by.
To them oracles, and define the covenant. These two right here. Revelation. Yeah.
Go ahead, where you at? You finished that, where we at? So go ahead, Matthew 8:11. Yeah.
And then just hit that one. And then these receivers of the covenant. But this is just showing. I want to read that John 8:58. So it shows that Abraham, even though that's his bosom, he bowed to the Messiah. Luke 16. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you hit that 8:11, then that Luke 16. But I jumped to 8:58 first.
Yo, that John 8:58, it was just showing the Messiah said he saw Abraham's day, and the Pharisees knew what he was talking about because they said, how you know Abraham and you ain't 50 years old yet? So they own the same language. And he said, before Abraham was, I'm what? I am. And they took up stones. They're like, now you telling us you lived before Abraham? And he's like, look, man, that was me to talk to Abraham in Genesis 18. What you talking? Ain't you read the scriptures that y'all claim y'all read?
Yeah, exactly.
So, bro, just gonna hit the next scripture showing that this covenant with Abraham comes with a bosom for all righteous people that keep it. When you die, if you die in righteousness, you go to that bosom. That bosom is not the kingdom. That bosom is the preparation place for those righteous souls to go into the kingdom. And then he'll do the about the Lazarus, but it's called Abraham's bosom, not Moses' bosom, not David's bosom, but Abraham's bosom. But that John 8:58 lets us know that Abraham's bosom don't supersede the Messiah's kingdom. He was just letting them know, look, y'all talk about Abraham, but I'm the big muckety muck. I'm the captain of the host of the angel of all the Lord. That's me. I talked to Abraham. He bowed down. They went and fixed food for me. That was me. If it ain't me, then name who it is. So that's all he was saying. Go ahead, Matt.
Go to Matthew.
Matthew 8 and 11.
Yeah, start
and then Luke 16, or you can back it up.
All right, Matthew.
Y'all got to get out of here. Most High be with y'all.
Most High be with you too,
finish
bro.
that up.
All right, the book of Matthew, chapter 8. We're gonna start at verse 5. We read 5 through 11. 5 through 13. Matthew chapter 8, verse 5 through 13. Finish up about the covenants.
Yeah. And who they belong to.
When you're a strange doctrine, that's not the covenant, like Easter eggs and bunnies and All Hallowed Eve and all that. That was never given in the covenants of the Most High. You understand? So that means you're involved in a false worship, dealing with a false deity. Even if you got the Most High on your lips, you're saying you can say Yah, Christ, Messiah, whatever, but still not dealing in His covenants. It's all bad. It's all about action and your service and what you're doing. It's all about what you do more than what you're saying.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You can say Lord Jesus or Master Yahushua, Yahushua, but not practicing covenant. You dig? And then that's the problem. I think that's the message brother was trying to relay this whole time. Well, let's start at Matthew 8. Start around verse 5 for me, y'all. Yes, sir.
The book of Matthew, chapter 8, verse 5.
Yes, sir.
And when Yahushua was entered into Capernaum, there
Shalom,
came-
y'all.
All right, brother. Shalom.
Yo, you do this every week.
Yeah. You got it?
Felt it, y'all.
Y'all speed, brother. All right, let's get her done.
Book of Matthew, chapter 8, verse 5.
Remember that covenant with Abraham was established on faith. He believed it. Even though most of us would have doubted, he believed it. And the Most High said, you righteous for that. And then promised him an everlasting kingdom, which we still waiting to receive. All right, something that was given to him based off his belief and his faith. Now watch this, Matthew chapter 8, verse 5.
And when Yahushua was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion, beseeching him.
You know what a centurion is? Roman soldier. He got like 100 men up under his command. You feel me? So this is a man of some authority. It's like a lieutenant or something running up on you. You understand? So who got the power right here? They're letting you know Messiah got the power of a centurion who was running Jerusalem at the time under the Romans. Come holler at you and request something from you. Right? Let you know who really got the power. Okay, come on now.
And saying, Lord.
Hold on, he called him who?
And saying, Lord.
He called him master. Huh? Now your nation is running my nation in my homeland, but you come to me and call me master. Who got the real power? You did? All right, come on, Hebrew.
My servant lieth at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented.
Palsy, you know that is cerebral palsy? This ain't like no common cold. This is a major affliction going on here. Something is wrong with the brain, which is causing motor functions and all that. You jacked up. You feel me? But Messiah understood that's a spirit that's on that person. Somebody's afflicted with that, that's actually spiritual. You feel me? Those are demons that got the person. All right, come on, Hebrew.
And Yahushua said unto him, I will come and heal him.
Come on.
The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof.
I'm not even worthy of you to come where I'm at. Call him master, right? Come on.
But speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed.
So the centurion got what?
Faith.
Faith. You feel me? Remember the covenant was given to Abraham off pure faith. The centurion is Roman, not a general, but a Roman soldier that got 100 men under his command. He like, man, just speak the word and I know it's done. Right? That's belief. That's faith. All right? Come on, Hebrew.
For I am under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, go, and he goeth, and another, and to another, come, and he cometh, and to my servant, do this, and he doeth. When Yahushua heard it, he marveled and said to them that followed, Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel.
You see that? The Roman centurion is exercising more faith than a native Israelite. But there's a doctrine saying can't nobody of no other nation exercise great faith.
He's not Israelite, what you say.
No, it's a Roman centurion. You feel me? Now you can debate all day and be like, well, you know, it was black generals and all that. Okay, that's true. I hear you on that, but the whole factor of this got to do with someone's faith. Right. You feel me? Which obviously what we reading is colorblind. You the one that got, you know, you bragging about who you are. That person ain't dark enough or light enough, or it's her too nappy, or these are conversations for carnal men. They're stuck in their flesh. You understand? This right here got to do with faith. You want a miracle done? You believe it can get done? It's done. That's the whole moral of what we read. That's right. They ain't got nothing to do with it. The faith don't know national boundaries. You believe it can get done. All right, you got something, Hebrew?
Faith produces doers. Faith holds no prejudice.
Yeah, I mean, if you believe it can get done. You feel me? Again, we talked not that long ago about medicineless hospitals. That sounds crazy to you because you've been raised in Babylon under Western medicine. You feel me? And they don't get no a doctor by the knives and scalpels that he have. Now, who you finna go kill? You feel me? You gotta cut something open and cut something out. But you know, back east, you feel me? It's people that believe themselves healthy. They just believe it. Like, I'm already healthy. That's a tumor. Well, that can be gone. That's one possibility out of a trillion. Why it can't be there? You feel me? Push out all doubt, all wickedness, all negativity, and believe they is. Because a brother came down here a couple weeks ago. Kidneys was done. He was on dialysis several times a week. He said he was up looking at an infomercial one night. He was looking at an infomercial, and somebody was on there, some preacher or whatever, was saying somebody healing. Whoever's looking at this can be healed right now. And the brother, he sat right there in the back and said, I reached out and grabbed it. Like, I claimed that I'm healed. Went back to the doctor. The doctor said, yo, ain't nothing wrong with your kidneys. Kidneys are perfectly fine. He believed it and he got healed. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't like we talking nothing that's, you know what I'm saying, can't get done. It gets done, even in today's time. All right? Come on, Hebrew, what else to say?
Verse 11.
Yeah.
And I say unto you, that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven.
So what we know Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in. Right. They gonna be in the kingdom of heaven. This Messiah talking right here. They signed, stamped, and sealed. They gonna be in the kingdom, right? Many gonna come from the east and the west. Come on, Hebrew.
But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness.
Wow.
There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Just because you an Israelite don't mean you getting in. You see that? You gotta be doing what thus saith the Most High. Said many gonna come from the east and the west and gonna sit down in the kingdom with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but there's gonna be Israelites that ain't gonna be there. Why? Why won't you be there? What's gonna happen? What was you doing? Following a different covenant. You wasn't following the covenant the Most High gave to you to get everybody else. You was following the covenant of death. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's some horrible wailing. To gnash teeth mean you cutting your teeth. That's horrible wailing, and that's pain right there. You feel me? Come on, Hebrew.
And Yahushua said unto the centurion, Go thy way, and as thou go hast believed.
And as thou hast believed, come on.
So be it done unto thee.
So whatever's afflicting you, whatever's plaguing you, if you believe you can be healed, it's done. These are the words of the Master. He say, and so be it done unto thee. Go thy way, and as thou hast believed or had faith, it's done. You feel me? You got to move all doubt about it though. The doubt is not going to help you out in getting no type of miracle. It's going to hinder you. If you believe it, it can get done. Now, either you serve the most powerful God in existence or you don't. Either this is ink on paper or you really believe what this says right here. Now it's those that don't even serve your God and ain't even one of y'all, but believe in themselves healthy. And it's done. So how much more powerful would it be for us? All right. You done with that?
And his servant was healed in the self-same hour.
No, in 2 weeks.
In the self-same
Same
hour.
hour. We're not talking about no 12-step program, no nothing. You believe he can get done. You feel me? Well, the Lord can't heal cancer. Well, your Lord probably can't. But the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, nothing's impossible. All things are possible to him that believe. Alright? I should look, drop that, bro. When you go to Luke 16 right after that to show Abraham's bosom. Not Moses' bosom. Abraham's bosom. Alright? Basically a place where the souls go once your breath expires out of your body. Your body goes back to dust, your spirit go back to the Most High, where your consciousness or your soul goes. There's still a level of consciousness after you die. You feel me? Not as pertaining to this realm you own. Like in Big Mama don't know nothing about you scoring touchdowns and that. There's still a level of consciousness. You got to give an account for what you done did with what the Most High loaned you. Alright? So look, Luke 16, we're going to start at verse 19. Read that on down, my brethren.
The book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 19.
You see, keeping this covenant that was given off pure faith will get you everlasting life. It will get you the kingdom of heaven. That's when, what are you down here for if that ain't the case? If you ain't trying to aim for that, what are you doing? What are you doing? Alright? He also told you the kingdom of heaven is within. Feel me? So you got everything within you to unlock the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. You already got it. It's just lying dormant in you. Right? You want to unlock it, you got to believe first. That's what it come down to. Alright? You're not going to be up in the paradise doubting and crying and plotting on stealing and doing all the stuff, that you entertain today. That's not going to happen. So you need to be living now like you in the kingdom. It's a battle every day, you know what I'm saying? You gotta die daily, put off the old man daily is what it is. And what it is, maintain Christ consciousness by any means necessary. Maintain the fruits of the Spirit by any means necessary. Anytime that go off, that vibration go left field, you doing Satan's bidding. You know how certain things come into your mind, You get to, cussing folk out in your head. Some of your loved ones, some of your spiritual fam. You see, he ain't no good. Look at her. She ain't no good. You gotta watch all that, because that type of thought process won't be in the kingdom. Alright? Let's get this right here, Luke 16.
There was a certain rich man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day.
He ain't worried about no bills or nothing. He good. Got the flyest linen on, just chilling. He don't have your worries, in other words. All right, come on, Hebrew.
And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores.
Come on.
And desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried.
Come on.
And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeing Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom.
So everybody don't rest in peace when they die. You've been wicked, you're going to be tormented until that eternal judgment come called the lake of fire. You're going to be tormented. Everybody, so if Lil Willie shot the city up and spent his whole life being evil, he's not resting in peace. Or the new one, everybody say fly high or rest in heaven. No. If you've been evil and wicked, you're going to be tormented by some hideous angels of the Most High. Basically, you're going to be getting jumped by angels until it's time for that resurrection. So they going over there in that lake of fire. Yeah. Serious. All right, come on, Hebrew.
And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame.
He just wanted a little drop of water in their tongue. Tormented. Have mercy on us, right? Let's keep reading. Now, this is immediately after death. This ain't even the final judgment. This is immediately after death. You got to give an account. You understand? Your body go back to dust, your spirit go back to the Most High, and your soul or your conscience is going to be either resting with the righteous or being tormented. There ain't no in between. It's like getting locked up for capital murder or getting locked up for some traffic tickets. You know you on your way about it, some traffic tickets, like I'll be about it tomorrow. You feel me? I'm all good. Like I can actually chill while I'm here. Ain't no thing. But if you got locked up for first degree murder and they got you on camera, they got the murder weapon, they got the witnesses, you might be getting the death penalty. You already know what it is. You feel me? Let's read, bro.
Verse 25.
Yeah.
But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented.
Remember in your life, even though you fared sumptuously and was chilling, he still was evil. He was rich, but he was evil. Because if he was righteous, he'd have been chilling. But he was being tormented. So someone like, who we know that's rich, that's arrogant, it's all, you can't tell me. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Don't pervert, Donald Trump. You feel me? Unless he shift gears, in which he probably won't, you can't tell no rich billionaire nothing. You feel me? But I ain't the Most High. I don't know how the Most High gonna break anybody, you understand? But if he continue on his present path, that's what he gonna be on, right here. Right here. You rich and still didn't even take the time to be righteous. To bless others or nothing. You just, you know. Well, he knew what he was signing up for when he said about that soldier. Called his mama, yeah, well, he knew what he was signing up for. Everybody surprised, like, oh my God. So the table shift after death though. You understand? If you've been evil, you're gonna be tormented. He like, look, I just stick his finger in some water, let him cool the tip of my tongue. That's all I need. He like, no, remember you had it good. You was walking around in, you know, silk garments and, you know, you was rich, and then while Lazarus was living, he was being afflicted, tormented. You see? Come on, Hebrew.
And besides all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed. So that which would pass from hence to you cannot.
See, so it's a valley between the righteous and the wicked. You know what I'm saying? In death, the righteous and wicked are separated. To get even further, I don't know if you got your Josephus. You probably ain't got your Josephus over there or nothing. But it's you ain't got that either. But they get even more explicit detail in that book of Josephus when you read in the back concerning what happened when you die. He go into Abraham's bosom. He called it Abraham's bosom. But he get into vivid detail. Like if you've been evil, it's some angels that jump you. Long stomp you right on over to the place of torment. You see? So after death, the wicked and righteous are separated. There's a valley between them. On this side of the valley, they resting, they chilling with the fathers. On this side over here, you're being handled.
Before judgment.
Yes, this is before the judgment. This ain't even the final judgment. All right, come on, Evo.
Neither can they pass to us that will come from this. Then he said, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house. For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come unto this place of torment.
Nah, he like, man, look, I got 5 brothers. Tell him go holler at my people. They don't want to come here. All right? But let's see what happened. Let me finish. I'm coming to you. Come on, Hebrew.
Abraham said unto him, they have Moses and the prophet.
They got the Bible. You want to escape torment? Take heed to the Bible. They got Moses and the prophets. Ain't nobody coming from the dead to tell you, hey dog, look, you really don't want to come here. You got everything you need right now to duck torment and rest. He like, look, they got the Bible. Those that's living, they got the word they need to escape judgment, to escape torment, should I say. All right, they got the Bible. All right, Moses and the prophets. Come on.
They have Moses and the prophets.
Yeah.
Let them hear them.
Yeah, while you're living, make sure you take heed to this right here. All right, come on.
And he said, nay, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent.
He like, they'll repent if somebody show up. He like, no, they got the Bible. That's it. That is what it is. Come on, Hebrew.
And he said unto them,
if
they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead.
Abraham in the spiritual realm letting it be known, like, look, if they don't hear the Bible, they ain't even gonna be persuaded. Somebody rise from the dead to tell them, hey man, this torment ain't no joke. You feel me? You got everything you need right now to duck torment and rest with the righteous. So either you gonna make the righteous decision or not. That's all it come down to. This also kills reincarnation for those that believe in reincarnation. That kills it right there. Like, what you mean after death? You got to answer. Like, you gonna know what happens as soon as you die? Yes. As soon as you die, you gonna know I done tripped, and ain't nothing coming to me but gasoline draws in the lake of fire. Or, hey, I'm good. I'm gonna get the kingdom because I'm resting with the righteous. So what do you do to duck that? Keep the commandments. Keep the commandments. Have full faith in the Most High. Right? That way you can really, it'll really be, hey, rest in peace. Because everybody don't rest in peace. If your people was evil and they got murdered, hey, I mean, I know that's what you want to hear. I wouldn't show up at his funeral saying that little joker getting tormented right now. I wouldn't do that. But the facts are the facts. He was evil, he getting tormented. That's what's happening. Right? So that what? Everybody need to what? Check themselves.
And it's showing faith too, what he's saying too. Because if they don't believe it now, you reading it, somebody come back and still don't. Maybe they not real anyway. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Because you know what we do? We gonna come up with an excuse not to hear them too.
Keep going on.
You ain't listening to people that's living. What you mean somebody come from the dead and tell you something? All right, you had something. Go ahead.
The book of Josephus is in the antiquity of the Jews.
Yeah, but it's in the back. It's called the discourse. His discourse with the Greeks. He had a debate with some Greeks about what happened after he died. The Greeks and them believed in like reincarnation, and he killed it. He like, dog, ain't none of that happening. None of that. He basically did, what he did was break down this what we read right here. And he called it Abraham's bosom. Another good extra biblical book to read is that Pseudepigrapha, bro, if you having them. You know, we ain't gonna get into it today. We did a class not that long ago called State of the Departed. Just look it up on the YouTube channel. But they going like what happened to you for like 7 days. 70, if you was evil, yeah. You got about 7 days. Then you get gathered and you gonna be tormented. Or if you was righteous, hey, you gonna be all good. So you need to fight with every fiber of your being to be righteous right now while you living. You got one shot, one bullet, don't miss. You ain't coming back 300 times and say, I messed up this time. I got 299 more times. No, it's not happening. All right, so we see that Abraham's bosom. All right, bro. I also wanted. We already did John 8 and 58. We already went there. Let's do the first receivers of this covenant. Psalms 147. Psalm 147, 19 to 20. Somebody else had their hand up too. There's somebody in the back. Somebody else had their hand up. Yeah. So to duck all that, make sure you're a covenant keeper. You understand? Be a covenant. The covenant of the Most High. Your covenant with death is not popping. It ain't gonna do nothing but get you tormented. You're gonna be tormented dealing with the covenant of death. Tuesday night is coming up fastly. Keep all your babies away from all this. You understand? If you're down with the Most High, you in covenant with Him, you should in no way, shape, form, or fashion be partaking in what's called the Feast of the Dead. You feel me? Even if a pastor try to dress it up and say trunk or treat, or Hallelujah Festival, or whatever they're trying to call it today. You can't call evil good. That's what it say in the Bible. You can't sit at the table of the Lord and then the table of the devil. That's what the scriptures say. Isaiah 5, verse 20, 1 Corinthians 10, 20 through 22. Old and New Testament. You can't play around with the Most High and then go flirt with the devil. No, it don't work like that. If it's evil, stay away from it. You feel me? It's just what it is. That way you don't be tormented. You don't know when you're gonna punch, you know the Most High gonna punch that clock anyway. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in here on borrowed time. Why would you spend the rest of your time being evil? Playing around. Go ahead.
I had a long story short, my cousin got killed back in 2014.
Yeah.
He was living like kind of wicked. So I was telling him, you know, I was trying to come on to the truth a lot. And he said, I couldn't believe it. I say, so what if, you know what I'm saying, you find out the truth one day and it's too late? And he looked at me and said, man, I'm just gonna have to, you know, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. He got killed. back in 2014, I had a dream a year later. He came to me. He had like so much respect. He was like, it was true what you were telling. He said his son sit at the right hand of the Father. He said, I love y'all, man. Get yourself together. And I woke up after that, man. My life has changed. You know what I'm saying? So that's real.
Yeah, you don't, hey, real talk. You don't want to be, like the one thing on Facebook, it say millions don't believe in the Torah, but they will on Judgment Day. You feel me? It's a whole bunch of folks swimming in a lake of fire. You feel me? Like, you might as well, you know, even say all this was fake. What punishment is coming to you for trying to be right? Right. You feel me? You rather live right now like it's a God now. You feel me? And then if you say you was hoodwinked afterwards, there's no harm, no foul. But you don't roll them dice and play, you know, craps with your soul and say it ain't no good living, it ain't one now, and then have to face that judgment in the day. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. You feel me? There is no punishment for trying your best to be right, to be righteous in the eyes of the Most High. All right. So look, we need Psalms 147. I think it's on you, Zeb, or whoever. Psalm 147, the first receivers of this covenant right here. Psalm 147, which was promised to Abraham on full faith while he was uncircumcised. But inwardly he believed, so he was spiritually circumcised at that time, because he believed. Alright, so look, Psalm 147, 19 through 20. Psalm 147, 19 through 20.
Psalms 147, verse 19.
Yeah.
He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
Y'all hear that? His statutes, his judgments, his word was given to the sons and daughters of Israel. Jacob. You see, he ain't do that with the Greeks. He ain't do that with the Chinese. So you got a special spot with the Most High. Why play around, you understand, as if it don't exist? You got a special spot. He actually loves his people. But as long as his people acting like they not his people, we are his enemies.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And hey, it's going to be plenty of Israelites in the lake of fire being tormented, plenty. You see what I'm saying? Because they took hold to the wrong covenant. Make sure you operate in the right covenant. That's what the whole class was about. Make sure you operate in the right covenant. You understand? That way you can receive your crown. You understand? All right, we need Romans 3. We're going to go to Romans 3. Romans 3, 1 through 4. Romans 3, 1 through 4. Old Testament tell you, he gave his word to Jacob, to Israel. His statutes and judgment. He ain't did that with no other nation. What other nation you got on record received, I'm talking about as a nation, received the covenant of God? Who? You mean Bruce Lee and them? Who? You ain't got nobody else. You feel me? The Italians, the Gambino crime family, who? The sons and daughters of the slaves are the chosen people of the Most High, who the Most High gave his covenant to basically conquer the earth with. You understand? Spread this to the rest of the sons and daughters of I. That's powerful. That's a special spot. But how you got that and acting outside of that. And a fight tooth and nail too. Like our people will fight tooth and nail to keep that Halloween that's coming up. Y'all know that. We used to get dressed up like ninjas and goblins back in the day. You understand? All type of man. They put on some hideous mask and all that. It's a straight spirit of death. And we know that. You feel me? We don't even take no rocket science. Babies be scared of all that. They like, what is that? Go to haunted houses for what they call it, homecoming. And ain't that what they call that in high school, homecoming? Yeah, everybody goes to the haunted houses and all that. Yeah. Like you just flirt with death. Like it's all good. You not knowing people drinking blood around this time of the year and all type of stuff. Cutting off cats' heads and kidnapping children. Sister was saying earlier about they talking about some heathen out in the Ladue area is following children home. You feel me? Ain't no telling what's going on. Madness, you feel me? We supposed to be teaching and living by the covenant of the Most High. Man, anything else, get it up out of here. Because they ain't gonna do nothing to get you tormented. But if you like torment, you like pain, you know, hey, handle your business. It's just a lake of fire, that's all. That's it. A place of torment. That's all. You'll be tormented forever and ever. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth, that's all. That's all it is. Because that's how you act. You act like I can do that. I'm just going to have to deal with that. No. Not y'all that panic as soon as the AC go out. As soon as the AC go out, the Negro panics. You feel me? So how is you ready for the lake of fire? You panic when AC go out. You're not ready for it. Because that wasn't built for you. It was made for the devil and his angels. All right? Come on, Hebrew. Let's do the Romans 3.
Romans chapter 3 verse 1.
Yeah.
What advantage then has the Jew? Or what profit is there in circumcision?
Yeah.
Much every way.
So they say much in every, not some ways, not a little ways. It's every way you advantage in being the covenant holders of the Most High. Every way. Come on, Hebrew.
Chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of Yahweh.
See what was committed to you? The oracles, the living word of the Most High was committed unto you. Alright? Come on, Hebrew.
For what if some did not believe?
A lot of our people still don't believe. A lack of faith. That's a disease we suffer from. A lack of faith, no faith. What if some of y'all don't believe? Right? Go ahead.
Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect?
Just because you don't believe is what this is talking about not going to come to pass. You know how self-centered we are. I don't believe that. It don't matter what you believe. You ain't got to believe it. It still won't come to pass. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Yah forbid. Yeah, let Yah be true, but every man a liar.
Let the Most High be true, but every man a liar. Don't matter if you in disbelief about the truth. It's going to happen anyway. All right, what verse you in,
Verse 4.
Yeah, go ahead.
As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy saying.
Yeah.
And mightest overcome when thou art judged.
Go to Romans 9 for me real quick. Romans 9. This is another beautiful one about the covenants. Because this is what the class is named. Covenants, right? Right. Romans 9. 1 through 5. Romans 9, 1 through 5. See? The Bible telling you, Old and New Testament, that the covenant was given to the children of Israel. It don't say nothing about the tribe of Christians. You feel me? Israel must believe in their Messiah in order to enter into this covenant, though. It is what it is. You understand? Or anybody, period, must believe on the Messiah as it is written in the scriptures. Not how you know what I'm saying, drew up in your own little figment of your imagination. Like, not my Jesus. Like that's going to change what's in the Bible or something. My Jesus would never come and wound the heads over many countries. Well, whoever you've been reading about or heard about ain't in the Bible. This Jesus Christ is coming to set the record straight. Whoever you thought it was, you've just been lied to. That's all it is. That's all it is. You thought he was coming back to hand out Jolly Ranchers and, you know, rub all the sinners on the back. No. You've been sadly mistaken. All right, come on, Hebrew. Let's get that. Romans 9, 1 through 5. We got a couple more. We can get up out of here. Romans 9, 1 through 5.
Romans chapter 9, verse 1.
Yes, sir.
I say the truth in Christ.
Yeah.
I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart.
Yeah.
For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ.
Meaning separated, cut off. This is Paul talking. I wish I was cut off from Messiah. Come on.
For my brother, my kinsman, according to the flesh.
So he's saying, like, look, I believe so much and I love my people so much. If I could get cut off for the nation to make it, then so be it. You feel me? Another great man in the Bible did that, Moses. And Moshe was about to wipe out the entire nation in the wilderness. Moses was like, no, Lord, you hit me, don't hit them. You feel me? Them your people. So you got some people saying Paul was a sellout. That don't sound like no sellout to me. He like, look, if I was cut off for the nation to make it, so be it. For my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are who?
Israelites.
Come on, Hebrew.
Who are Israelites?
Who are Chinese?
Who are Israelites?
Who are Pentecostal?
Who are Israelites?
Who are Baptists?
Who are Israelites?
His brethren, his kinsmen according to the flesh are the children of Israel. And this is the New Testament. It's the New Testament. Who are Israelites, right? Come on, Hebrew.
To whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory.
Come on.
And the covenants.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Covenants. Ain't that the name of the class? The covenants.
Yes.
To whom pertaineth the covenants, the adoption, the glory, the covenants, both old and new, the promises, all they got to do to go to the children of Israel. That's beautiful. This whole time you thought you was a Mason or a blood or something. That's beautiful right there. I mean, you got a special spot with the Heavenly Father.
Straight up.
You feel me? You thought you was the Eastern Star or a Kappa or Alpha or whatever that, you know, all the sororities everybody joined today. College gang banging is what we call it. Yeah? Thought you was a Greek. But he like, look, man, the covenants now they apply to the Israelites. That's Paul in the New Testament, who everybody love to quote. Yeah, I'm looking down like, dang, it do say that. Yeah, they say that. Who are Israelites? Come on, Hebrew. Start from the top again, verse 4.
Who are Israelites?
Come on.
To whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory,
right,
and the covenant,
beautiful,
and the giving of the law, and the service of Yahweh, and the promises.
And the promises, them promises that was made to Abraham, that we been talking about all they go to his promised seed, the Israelites. But Israel must believe in the Son of the Most High to enter into the everlasting covenant, or they won't be in there. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right, there's plenty of Hebrews, know we Hebrews, but don't believe in the Messiah. They won't be in the kingdom unless they repent and bow their neck in subjection. Brother Rod, like I don't know what they. I feel you, brother. I don't know what they read either, but it is what it is. All right, come on, bro.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came, who is over all, Yahweh blessed forever. Amen.
You see who Christ was sent for? The Israelites. You got the other nations that's going to join hold and grab our garments and say, look, we with y'all. We want to be under that covenant right there. But it's still the special spot is for the children of Israel. You feel me? So don't sneeze at that. Don't take that lightly. You understand? Because if you practicing a wrong covenant, you're going to be in a place of torment. All right? Instead of your rightful birthright, which is to be in the image of the Heavenly Father. You feel me? To live like a son of the Most High. Powerful, immortal. You understand? That's what you got coming. Glory, honor. You got all that coming if you are up under the right covenant. All right? You done with them, brother?
Yeah.
All right.
Precept.
Go ahead. How do you finish?
Jeremiah 50, chapter 4. I mean, Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 4 and 5.
The covenants, the contracts.
Jeremiah what, Hebrew?
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 4 and 5.
Creator of heaven and earth and his creation. Now, if you're going to operate in the spirit of righteousness or, you know, continue to operate in the covenant of death, you've been warned. He told us in Deuteronomy, he said, I lay before you two paths, life and death. Choose life that you may live. You choose death, he got a spot for you. And the crazy part is the Most High owns the lake of fire he created. The devil don't own the lake of fire. He don't want to go there. He don't even want to go there. You think the devil on the ground right now in some red pantyhose smoking a cigarette or something. No, the devil's a spirit and he moves in and out of whoever is willing to serve him. You feel me? No matter what nation, no matter what color, creed, whatever you're talking about. You feel me? His final judgment is to be destroyed in what's called the lake of fire made for him and his messengers or his angels. That's his final destination. You heard misery love company? Well, that's why he turned it up in this hour. Your job is to operate within the covenant of the Most High. That way you can receive that which was already foreordained for you before the world was even made. right, you got where you at? Jeremiah 50.
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 4.
Yes, sir.
In those days and in that time, says the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, and they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek the Lord their God. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten.
Ooh. You see that? That's the spirit our people are raising up in this hour. That spirit right there. Let us join ourselves to the Most High in a perpetual covenant, everlasting. All right? All right, you done with that, brother? All right, we're going to Jeremiah 31 next. Jeremiah 31 through 34. And then we're going to go to Hebrews 8 and 8. It's something you ask your people when you let them know about the covenant and the commandments that must be kept. They said, no, I don't. That's old covenant stuff. I'm under the new covenant. That's what our people claim. So I ask your people, what is the new covenant? And according to the Bible, what is it? Not according to your feelings. What is the new covenant since you're under it? What is the new covenant and who does it apply to according to the Bible? Ask your pastor that. He's gonna look at you like, boy, who you been talking to?
What you been reading?
But trip off how he ain't gonna be able to answer you. He won't be able to answer you because if he answers you accordingly, his whole program of you ain't got to keep the commandments come tumbling down. What is the new covenant and who does it apply to? That's the question that needs to be asked. And remember, you're just trying to get your people to think. You ain't got to cuss them out of that. That's how I live. You know what I'm saying? But boy, I heard you reading that Bible. That's what's up. You feel me? They've been super saved 50 years, 30 years, whatever. Okay? And you don't find yourself in a dialogue with your people. You're just trying to get them to think. You ain't got to come off like you ready to slap somebody or something like that. You ain't got to come off like that. Let's ask them one of many questions. Since you're under the new covenant, you ain't got to keep the commandments. Because that's what they say. I'm under the new covenant. That's old stuff you talking about. I'm under the new covenant. So ask them, what is the new covenant? And who does it apply to? Scripture. And watch how many different answers you get. They not gonna say, go to Jeremiah 31, verse 31 to 34. Go to Hebrews 8 and 8, second witness. That's not, you ain't gonna get that answer. If you do, then that's a covenant keeper right there. That's somebody that's been studying his Bible. That's what's up. But just speaking from experience, people not even gonna be able to answer you scripturally. It's gonna be a whole bunch of stuttering because they're gonna realize I've never been asked that question. I've been saying I'm under the new covenant, but I don't even know what it is. All right, let's get this. Watch this right here. Jeremiah 31.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31.
Yes, sir.
Behold, the days come, said the Most High, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
Y'all hear that? There go that new covenant. You under the new covenant, right? One's with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, all 12 tribes of Israel. The same group of people the old covenant applied to. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Not according to the covenant that I had made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
You're reading words like there, them. This is a certain group of people it's talking about. All right, you wouldn't be hearing words like there and them. You would be hearing words like all, everybody. You're reading there and you're reading them. Their fathers, when I took them by the hands and led them out of Egypt, was the whole world held captive in Egypt? No, it wasn't. It's just the truth. I know that sends a few people here because you think everybody. You understand? Again, not saying everybody or people of other nations can't serve our God. That's a lie. They can. But the covenant belongs to who? That's just what it is, man. Come on, Hebrew.
Which my covenant they break. Although I was a husband unto them, said the Most High.
Beautiful. Come on.
But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Most High. I will put my law in their inward parts.
My religion.
I will put my law in their inward parts.
My opinions.
I will put my law
in their what?
In their inward parts.
Come on.
And write in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people.
So, what is the new covenant and who does it apply to? No other. The laws of the Most High on your heart and your mind. Huh? They go from a table of stone that Moses had to in her. And it applies to who? Who does it apply to? Children of Israel.
But when do they get done away with?
Yeah. Now, somebody been saying it's done away with. We ain't read nothing about no laws being done away with. All right? I mean, outside of you sacrificing animals for your sins, that's what the body of Messiah is for. He was crucified. So no more offering like killing bullocks for your sins and none of that. But the rest of the commandments of God still stand. The laws of God will be on your mind and your heart, your inward parts. That's what the new covenant is. And it applies to the 12 tribes of Israel. Let's read, brother.
Verse 34.
But this is the Old Testament, brother. It don't say that in the New. Okay, well, let's keep reading. Come on.
And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them, the children of Israel, come on, unto the greatest of them, said the Most High. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more.
See? So we ain't even all the way in the new covenant right now. We in transition. If that's the case, we wouldn't be down here teaching, y'all would be down here with notebooks and highlighters. Right. You see? And that day when it's fully come into play, there will be no more teaching. All of them who would apply to will know him, from the least to the greatest. But brother, that's Old Testament, as if it's going to change when we go to the New Testament. Brother, that's Old Testament, that's done away with. That's the argument. Even though this ain't even came to pass yet, that's the argument. Right? Let's go to Hebrews chapter 8. Is Hebrews in the New Testament?
Right.
Hebrews is in the New Testament. And look, that's another letter that was written by Paul or Shaul, the book of Hebrews. Let's go to Hebrews and read about the new covenant. Hebrews chapter 8. Let's go to verse 8, brother. Let's read on down. The book of Hebrews is an excellent book to read if you want to ever understand what Paul is saying about the schoolmaster and we not under the law but under grace and all that. Read through that book of Hebrews. He's going to explain in vivid detail what he means. He's talking about different priesthoods that you're under.
Sacrifice.
Laws of sacrificing animals. Like if you sinned back then, if it was something that you get put to death for, you had to bring animals to the priest. You had to kill the bullock. The priest take the blood and sprinkle it on the altar, and they fillet the beast, and all type of stuff had to happen. You see what I'm saying? So you're not killing animals for your sins anymore. The Messiah was crucified. You feel me? So no more shalom, sister. No more animal sacrificing for sins. The Son of the Most High was crucified as an offering. All right. And even those that don't believe in him, they not killing animals. Why they ain't killing animals? I thought you kept the law to the letter. Why you ain't killing animals no more? Exactly. Go ahead, Hebrew. Do it.
He also repeats this in chapter 10. Yeah. He tell you it's impossible that the blood of animals to take away sins. See, they just was doing that until Messiah showed up to become the ultimate sacrifice. That's the schoolmaster. That's what they was doing. There were laws added for transgression. If you went against God, they would kill animals. If you did something that wasn't worthy of death, they would kill animals and bring the blood and all that to the priest, and the priest would sprinkle the blood on the altar. You feel me? That's what was going on. But now the Messiah, the Son of the Most High, has been crucified. So there's no need for you to go kill no animals for the remission of sins. Just what it is. All right? Hebrews 8.
The book of Hebrews chapter 8 verse 8.
What is the new covenant and who does it apply to? Let's read.
For finding fault with them, he said, Behold, the days come, said the Most High, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
Hold on, is you in the book of Jeremiah?
New Testament.
What book is you in?
Hebrews.
That's that book of Hebrews, huh? That's New Testament. But Paul is what? Quoting the Old Testament, Jeremiah 31. You heard today, the Old Testament done away with. Then why would these brothers use the Old Testament? This is the New Testament. You quoting what we just read in Jeremiah. So if you would ask Paul what is the new covenant, who would apply to, he'd have told you. We went right to that Jeremiah 31. See, he's quoting what we just read. Huh? And this the New Testament, y'all. It ain't the Old Testament. Go ahead, my brother.
I know Christians that say, well, the Christian I used to know, this church I used to go to, I asked them, I'm like, what was Jesus and Paul in the reading?
Yeah.
It was like, that was just inspiration from God. And he didn't even know him that was reading the Old Testament. That he was reading. I'm like, what did Jesus read when he read the scrolls of Isaiah? So he was like, what?
Yeah, they
That's the Old Testament. That's Torah. Like,
yeah, they not taught that. You feel me? They got you believing that the God of the Old Testament is some boogeyman, and that the Old Testament part of the book is null and void. Meanwhile, the Messiah, Paul, all the disciples, that's what they was quoting out of. They was using that to prove that the Messiah was the Messiah. They going into all the prophecies and all that. They got to be him. Who else would prophesy to be born in Bethlehem? You know what I'm saying? Which one of David's sons were born in Bethlehem? You ain't even got none but him. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, excellent point, brother. You feel me? It's like you taught to believe that the Old Testament is done away with. That's not the truth. It's just the priesthood that Moses and them was under all the way up until the Messiah came and laid his life down. That's done away with. You understand? You're not killing no animals for no remission of sins no more. Nobody is. You see? That's the only difference. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? In spirit and in truth, you walk in the commandments in full faith. Can't nobody keep the commandments. Which one you talking about? Which one? Tell me which one you can't keep. If they ever tell you, then that's the one they dealing with. You feel me? That's the one they dealing with. That brother's a thief. You feel me? Like, I don't like what it say, thou shalt not steal. That brother is a thief. You feel me? He gonna have to get that together. Yeah, all right, come on, Hebrew.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant, that I regarded them not, said the Most High.
Come on.
For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Most High.
Come on.
I will put my laws into their mind, and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people.
You see? Paul's quoting Jeremiah. Now we know what the new covenant is. So just quiz your people. It's all in love. Just quiz them though. What is the new covenant? Who does it apply to? Since you're under it. Chapter verse. What are those things hanging off your shirt? Y'all? These are fringes. You know, Numbers 15, Deuteronomy 22. All that old covenant stuff. Yeah, okay, I hear you. You understand? I hear you. I'm under the new covenant. Well, what is it? Who does it apply to? And that's how you get them. You trying to dialogue, that's it. Get some questions answered. You feel me? Because you claiming something that you have no clue about. That should scare everybody up in here. We all was up under that vibration at one time. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Verse 11.
Yeah.
And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord.
Yeah.
For all shall know me, from least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more.
That's right.
And that he said, a new covenant he hath made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away.
See, that's what that is. I got two more scriptures, Matthew 26, Messiah at Passover. When he instituted the new covenant, Matthew 26. Again, y'all read through that book of Hebrews, like chapter 7 on in, and you'll see the difference and what it was and what it is now. All right. Matthew chapter 26. Matthew chapter 26. We're gonna read verse 17 through 30, and then we're gonna end it with Revelation 21. It's a new covenant. It's a new Jerusalem coming, what you call heaven. The kingdom of heaven is coming to earth. Now you know you got Jerusalem now. There's a new Jerusalem, the Garden of Eden, paradise. That's coming back to earth. You feel me? So in the end, we're going right back to the beginning. Adam and Eve was made to live forever until they transgressed and went against the Most High. Then that's why we die. When you get your flesh and all that, you get stiff and old and stank. Yeah. Because we didn't transgress the command of the Most High. Now they tell you ain't got to keep them. So in essence, he's teaching you a whole nother covenant. All right. All right, so Matthew 26, let's finish this off. Hebrew, let's get her done.
Book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 17.
Yes, sir.
Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Yahushua, saying unto him,
Let's say the first day of Christmas, boy.
the first day of the feast of unleavened bread.
First day of Easter.
The first day of feast of unleavened bread.
Y'all see what feast we supposed to be keeping? You see what's part of this covenant right here? Passover, unleavened bread, in which we still keep to this very day. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover?
Eat the what?
Eat the
So
Passover.
Messiah, my Jesus kept the Passover?
Yes, he did.
Yes, every year of his life, yes he did. Yes he did. Today you don't even know what Passover is. You feel me? So you mean to tell me Messiah was keeping in memory what the Most High did for us in Exodus when he passed through there that night and destroyed all the firstborn of Egypt, and we had to put the blood on the doorposts, and then the nation went through the Red Sea on dry ground? You mean the Messiah actually kept this in commemoration? That's what he did? He wasn't going on no Easter egg hunts. I'm saying, if you didn't read that somewhere, show me, because I'm trying to find out. Wow, somebody been lying. You received a whole nother Messiah. You thought this whole time that you've been following Messiah. They gave you a different image, a whole nother covenant, different teachings. Read one line till you close the book, collect money. It's a hustle. It's just call it what it is, man. It's a hustle. Some of us know some of them money counters. Some brothers used to go in the back, count money, be fighting over the money. You know, some of us got preachers in our family. We know what go down in that back room when all them tithes get collected. Them brothers get cornered real quick. Fighting over tithing money. Think it's a game. Think it's a game. Go ahead, bro.
It's funny that you say that because I was talking to a person, an old friend, and you know, I was telling them about this class in the beginning.
Yeah.
And she was telling me she started back going to church.
Yeah.
And she said they had something preached or they seen they need about so many people to pledge $100.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what you said, it's all about money.
Yeah.
They want, I don't know how many here get 2, 4, 8 to him. He was coming to pick me up here.
Yeah.
But she just had me laughing and she said how much money did they want.
Yeah.
They actually want.
It's about all that. And we understand it takes money to pay bills and run stuff. But call it debt, man. You got people thinking they owe you 10%, they check every week, and they like that ain't even in the Bible nowhere. They were paying tithes 10% of their crops once a year. Like you got people getting the government already take your gross pay, you got a net pay, and then you get taking 10% of that and give it to the dude every week. Wow, somebody hustling. How you know it's hustling? When several preachers get together and they come to different congregations and they preach and all that. When it's time for that money to get divvied up in them back chambers, oh, them Negroes get cornered quick. Brother. Yeah, cornered. And there's only a few of them allowed back there. Like you get kicked them out the room. It's a problem.
I know one deacon, he mad because they won't let him back there to count.
Yeah. This is an exclusive brotherhood.
They won't let me back there yet.
They take them off.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. There's a lot of hustling going on. All right, go ahead, Will.
I just want to say, sometimes people will hit you with, well, the law is spiritual, that's scriptural.
Yeah.
So then you respond, well, how do you keep the Passover spiritual?
Yeah.
They still going to be the answer.
Right. Real tough. All right, come on, Hebrew.
Verse 18.
Yeah.
And he said, go into the city to such a man and say unto him, the master said, my time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at thy house with my disciples.
Wow. Come on.
And the disciples did as Yahweh had appointed them, and they made ready the Passover. Now when the evening was come, he sat down with the 12. And as they did eat, he said, Verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. And they were exceedingly sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto them, Lord, is it I? And he answered and said, He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. The Son of Man goeth, as it is written of him. But woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed.
Wow.
It had been good for him, good for that man, if he had not been born.
Now, the one that betrayed him was the Israelite, his own people. Now, we sell each other out to this day for chicken change to this day, so it shouldn't be a surprise, right? But it'd been better had that man never been born than to betray the Messiah. See that? That ain't no white man he talking to. That's a straight brother. Betrayed. Come on, Hebrew.
Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? He said unto him, Thou hast said.
Come on. Yeah, it's you. Come on, Hebrew.
And as they were eating, Yahweh took bread and blessed it, and brake it, and gave it to the disciples, and said, Take, eat, this is my body.
That didn't turn this into communion once every 4 Sundays. This is at Passover once a year. You see what I'm saying? You see, it's a whole nother doctrine, whole nother covenant you've been passed. This happened at Passover once a year. We do this at Passover to this day. We'll break the bread. We'll break the bread, you know what I'm saying? For us grown folk, we drink wine. For the short leggers, they get a little grape juice or whatever. You feel me? But this right here is showing that you under the bond of the covenant. Right? It's going to promise us the new kingdom that's coming. All right? Come on, Hebrew.
And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, Drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament.
Or New Covenant. Come on.
Which is shed for many for the remission of sin.
All right, so the bread is symbolic for his body. The wine is symbolic for his blood. Right? When you partake in that, the other scripture tell you can't eat that or drink that unworthily. You'll be eating damnation on yourself. So this is a serious thing, because shortly after this, he was betrayed and crucified. But you see, he was instituting the new covenant that night. And the new covenant is what and who does it apply to? That's the question you ask your people. It's the laws of the Most High on your heart and your mind. You feel me? It applies to the 12 tribes of Israel. The night he was betrayed, he instituted the new covenant. All right? And anybody that partake in that cup, eat that bread, you feel me, shall be in the kingdom as long as their name don't get blotted out. Your name can get blotted out by partaking in the wrong covenant. You feel me? Let's read, Hebrew.
Verse 29.
Yeah.
But I say unto you,
come on,
I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom.
See, so he's like, look, I ain't gonna drink no more wine with y'all until we meet back up. Feel me? So yes, Messiah drunk wine too. He wasn't a drunk. But yeah, he drunk wine. They tell you today you can't drink. You feel me? No, just don't get drunk. Know your limitations. If a half a bird make you pull your clothes off, you can't drink a half a bird. That's what it is. Know your limitations, man. Right. You can't be drunk. You understand? But Messiah say, look, y'all drink all that, divvy that up amongst yourselves. I ain't gonna drink no more until I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. Can y'all imagine how good that wine gonna taste? What? Oh, wait. Oh, crazy. That means you made it at that point. You feel me? Come on, Hebrew.
And when they had sung and hymn, they went out into the Mount of Olives.
All right, drop that. Let's go to Revelation 21, finish it off. Revelation 21, us keeping the right covenant, the promise that was promised to Abraham, we're about to read about it. Revelation 21, we're going to read 1 through 12. Revelation 21. And we gonna end it. Y'all got a closing prayer you wanna do? Closing song?
44. 44.
44. Psalm 44 is the closing.
Revelation 21, verse 1.
You partake in the wrong covenant, you're gonna miss out on this right here. What we about to read. All right, let's get it, Hebrew.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
So the paradise is coming down. The kingdom of heaven is coming down. You see that? Now you ain't going nowhere to ice skate up there. It's coming down to earth. And when you finish reading the rest of this chapter, the next chapter, you'll see it's the Garden of Eden. The tree of life is there. In the midst, the rivers are there. You understand? That's the very place. This is the very place in which Adam and Eve was in. Feel me? New Jerusalem, aka the Garden of Eden paradise. Alright, let's read, Hebrew.
And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Yahweh himself shall be with them, and be their God.
Beautiful, come on.
And Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. And there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
Sound beautiful, don't it? Right now you crying in pain. You feel me? We going through what you would call hell on earth right now. Right? So practicing the right covenant gets you this, what we read right here. This is what was promised to Abraham all the way back in Genesis 15. Alright, come on, Hebrew.
And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new.
Some things new.
All things new.
Beautiful, come on.
And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful.
Come on.
And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of water of life freely.
We're going to charge you for it.
Freely.
Pass the collection plate around.
Freely.
Freely. Wow, come on.
He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son.
To him that overcometh, you got to endure. Okay, come on.
But the fearful,
the who?
The fearful.
Y'all see who first on the list? The cowards. The fearful. But the fearful, come on.
But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and the murderers, and whoremongers,
ouch,
and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars,
some liars,
all liars,
come on,
shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
You see who ain't gonna be up in the dwelling of the Most High? If you on that list, repent. You got a lot of work to do. You see that? But you see who ain't gonna be in there. Ain't gonna be a wicked toenail in the kingdom of the Heavenly Father, which was promised to Abraham back in Genesis the 15th chapter. There won't be a wicked toenail up in there. Won't be no wicked thoughts. You won't be cussing folk out in your head. None of that. None of that. All right, come on, Hebrew.
And there came unto me one of 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, full of the 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from Yahweh.
Beautiful, come on.
Having the glory of Yahweh, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone. Clear as a crystal.
Y'all should start looking up some of these stones. Like, y'all know what they look like? This Google image. They'll pop right up. You'll be like, whoa! Yeah, come on, Hebrew.
And had a wall, great and high.
Yeah.
And had 12 gates. And at the gates 12 angels. And the names written thereon. which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Wow. So the children of Israel names on the gates of heaven, the New Jerusalem. It don't matter if you an Israelite. It actually does matter. Your names are on the gates of heaven. You see, you were given the covenant of the Most High. Don't renege. You played spades before, you don't want to renege, right? Don't renege. Don't fumble. Keep the right covenant, that way you can get your birthright, which is the New Jerusalem. You understand? And how beautiful on the gates is the name of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's beautiful. You can find out you an Israelite on a God's show. And he loves you so much, your name's on the gates. Ah, man, it's beautiful. I don't know about y'all, that shocked me when I first read it. I'm like, whoa. All right, sis, you got something?
I didn't know that. I thought that the names was
Yeah, your individual names are.
These names are the names of
Your individual names that the Lord don't call you by. That's Revelation 2:17, Revelation 3:12. Just don't get your name blotted out the book of life. Your name is in there once you believe. You working on not getting it blotted out. You feel me? 12 tribes of Israel: Reuben, Judah, Simeon, Levi, Gad, Asher. Names on the gates. You feel me? On the gates of heaven. The New Jerusalem. You done find out you an Israelite. That's beautiful. Show you how much the Lord loves you. You understand? All right, we finna close out. Any questions before we get closed out? Anybody? All right, no dumb questions. All right, we all good? Any announcements, sister? No announcements? Everybody good? Let's close out. Psalm the 44th chapter. Closing Psalm. And boy, he been back there. Quiet, let's take, bud.
I guess I look back there and check on it.
Yeah. All right,